Wait. Alrighty then.
Let's get the quad. We can do it.
The quad Ted.
I believe in these League players.
I mean, they think you're just serious at that point.
Right?
I'm sure there are teams of 4 all the time.
Now let's count times I'm pressing jump well. Like, let me roll, and then, like, no.
Yeah, same.
How this works.
Did you guys have 4 already?
Oh, we did it! Like, right off the fucking bat, we did it.
Oh, what the fuck? Really? I can't
Fucking, I
believe
knew it.
this.
I knew it.
Wait, you guys are going double 10 attack, and your teammates are also double 10 attack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Game.
We did it. We're full meta.
Nice.
Oh, this thing first one. Oh god.
Somebody's a regular splatter shot.
An
That
imposter.
fucking, that 10 attack hit me like it was a charger. It was really scary.
Man, I really feel bad for the guy that made that SpongeBob anime opening because like it got removed from YouTube as like potential scam because everyone posted it around on Twitter.
Oh my god, really? That's the thing that they do on YouTube? That's,
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awful.
if your video gets too popular, they just fucking delete it? That's horrible.
That's so. Like I guess they were like, oh, we can't be sure you made it. It's just like, oh, it's my but they stole it. And now somebody else has it like up again on YouTube with like 20k views already.
So someone else is just gonna steal all their views.
Apparently. That kind of sucks for creators, though. It's like no
Yeah.
protection whatsoever.
Well, especially if you, even if it's original work, if you're using something
That's probably
copyrighted, there's
good.
nothing
Yep,
you
there
can
goes.
do.
Mm-hmm.
This is tough.
Why do they armor the ink?
Can you just fucking squid kid me? Come on, dude.
I have no idea why though.
He's using
Like-
QR 10 attack.
Wait, really? It's a QR 10 attack at that? Oh wow.
Well, wow, I got trapped and could not fucking move away.
Okay, seriously though, this guy's shots aren't even like showing up.
I'm just like getting destroyed before I can even move, like every single time.
Please leave. Ah, I couldn't get both of them.
Wow, okay.
Wait, hold on, I think...
Quad 10 attacks beaten by one guy with a tri-slosher.
Put the beat. But yeah, I'm very confused at that because it's literally just like wasting something that wasn't firing in you, and you just die instantly.
I mean, that's what 10 attack is, right?
Oh. We're not 10 attacking hard enough.
There, this will solve everything.
Tech has its support.
Guy's got a scarf though.
It happened again.
No, it's just we got double buckets.
Oh my god.
Is it not some meme team?
I mean, it's not so much meme teams as we just kind of make them meme. That's what we're going for.
Oh, I forgot I have fucking burst bombs and not.
Whoa! Well, that's a pro. Wait! walked into the zone and died and kept it for us.
Good. Thank you.
His body exploded.
Like, there was a suction bomb right in front of him that he's pointing his gun through, and it
Oh, that's a
blew up on him.
dynamo. What?
Wait, you mean you can't blow up suction balls from shooting them? That video has some.
He died. Oh god.
I'll shoot the chicken to death.
I'm playing like buns right now.
Same. Oh god. That pro
Oh,
bomb.
that. This looks kind of interesting. Wait. Really?
God.
Kind of funny too, but like, I feel like they've literally lost everything when it comes to like this, even though it still applies to me, so I don't know how I could feel that way. See? I don't have ink.
I didn't get the kill. What? I do not trust the assists in this game. Like I feel like the netcode just gives away your kills.
Well, I guess I'll have if I can't kill. Why can't I kill this guy ever? Hero Brush is over here. I think that.
Stop this.
Alright, fine. Your friend is gonna die.
How do you
Sure.
get out the zone cap? Okay.
Why can't I ever kill that brush though? Like, legit.
Yeah, I don't know. That brush is kind of magical.
Oh,
Like, I don't know how they got... I'm just like, oh my god.
alright, enough. Two down.
Hello.
I know.
Right?
Hello.
There's that dynamo. Dynamo, get the fuck out of here.
What you guys doing?
Me and Azure.
Digging. Hot one, bro. That's enough. That's hard. Got the pro.
Oh, he fucking hit me? Are you kidding? Oh, how did he get two? Wow, that...
Brush though.
I don't understand why our normal bucket could not kill the dynamo as it was killing me.
I don't know
Like,
why
he
it
could
feels like
only
I
hit
can't
one
aim
of
at
us.
brush.
Like, all we had to do was both fucking aim at him. And he...
What the? Here comes the brush back here. Oh, what? What?
Wow, I lost my ink armor instantly and then died. What?
Brush is on top of the sponge. Well, one of them.
I didn't realize there were two.
Easy. Oh my god!
They only have one up. But of course it's gonna be
The brush
one-
hiding in our core. Be careful, Will. I'm gonna jump to you. It's gonna be a bit risky.
I got
Brush
it.
is here.
I got it.
E.
I don't know if they're like jumping to our...
Traded with the dynamo. Oh, here's another inkjet. Who was it that said at the very beginning of this game that inkjet can't paint well? I do really want you to reevaluate that statement. Like, he can solo contest every
Oh,
zone in
what?
the
How
game.
the fuck did he hit me around a corner?
Yeah, it actually does paint pretty good.
And the best part is, it paints in such a wacky fashion. Oh my god, this brush. Die, yes. Where's the second one? Because they're the trouble.
It's all like jumping... Oh, that's the dynamo.
When I get this thing that I'm gonna do something.
What? That... doesn't make... Oh, God. Okay, we did it.
Good. Brush is super strong in this. it's really just because of like the state of everything else, but Lord. Also, I think I finally experienced that thing you were talking about with regards to
Yeah.
because I think somebody was supposed to break the ink armor I have on with their bomb indirect, but it just break. Like, I felt the knockback and heard the explosion, but I still had ink armor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think like the splash damage is around like 35, right?
For
In-
what?
30, actually.
It's 30 exactly. Then that's like exactly what ink
Yeah,
armor.
for pretty much all bombs are 30.
So yeah, then you really only need one sub.
Oh god, I have no idea
Yeah,
what to
I've been
expect
thinking
here.
of just putting one sub on all of my like builds. Like, why not?
Yeah.
Even if I don't have ink armor.
Although the shit I have for Dynamo, it's only 2 subs of Ink Saber Vein to get an extra flip. So I just do 2 subs of Ink Saber Vein and then 1 sub of Bomb Defense.
Plus, one sub of bomb defense helps you survive
Wait, where's
2
the sub of
splash
bomb?
damage shots from Inkjet.
Yep.
So that's 3 points well spent. Inkjet's so good.
Ah, I could've get this guy too. I genuinely like this stage a lot, though, so far. Because everybody has that enamored phase, and then suddenly it does one thing wrong, and it's bad.
Are they really all just standing there?
They don't know what to do. Come on down. Again. Aww.
Oh, okay.
Probably could have optimized that route better, but... Oh, more missiles. I like this. Got 2. 3. That's a what?
Oh cool, this thing's still here. I can just roar around up here.
Yeah. This feels the most rude.
Yeah, what are these whack weapon rotations of salmon on there?
What the hell's the L3?
Yeah, but the rotation after
Guys
that.
want that?
You haven't seen that one.
Oh no.
It's the H3 and the ink brush.
Oh my god.
Oh gosh.
That's horrifying.
That is actually fine.
I'm saying one
That's
burst
not the
from
one with the new map, is it?
They're both new on the new map, so.
that one with the I mean the H3 one-shot burst, that better kill a Quahog. That's all I'm saying. That's the only way to make it legit.
I wouldn't bet on it.
Otherwise you're gonna use one burst like per chum. It's gonna be horrifying.
It's also a splatling. I don't recognize the splatling from the guy. Is the yellow one the mini or the normal one?
That's the heavy.
That's heavy. That's okay then.
The mini's purple.
SM's getting real responses. He just
To take the meme further or not?
hey, level 50, no
I mean,
rank.
he already wants to join my team, so all those other people can just fuck off.
What's it gonna be? The Wills?
Like, yo,
You-
give us split 3 early.
Team Wills.
No, we're team give us free stuff because we're good at the game.
Wow, really?
Wow, fuck you too.
Whatever.
Oh, they actually have a charger? I don't know how to play anymore.
Oh.
Let's just talk about people what don't even want to play competitive but want to talk about balancing. I want to play competitive, and I can't because my weapons suck. I'm trying to catch up in the main chat and I'm like confused.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be more likely to play competitive if the balancing actually wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't want to pick Penatech or Trash Washer and then get 4 of those.
Exactly.
This person.
Just stir.
Got it.
Why is ranked such a shitty rotation now?
All of it.
Eh.
I will be back in a team that I have to actually pick up on it. But I'm still listening.
Push the charger all the
I'm
way back
better
into the spawn.
splatling. I'm a better splatling. Well, I guess that team got fucked.
I just wish Mario plus Rabbits was here right now. Yeah.
You know what really makes me upset? I feel like stop working. Like that's basically me. At the but then it's like, but then it's like, oh wait. Oh, I guess what I mean. I'm in a dire need.
Time to beat fuck you again. I don't think were they actually doing arrow spray last match?
I wasn't paying attention to what they were wearing. I don't think I forgot. No, they were doing. But like, let's be real, retro.
Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Like there are a lot of shitty like fake Miiverse posts and then just people naming fuck you. Like, I don't know.
Like
wow.
Even from launch too. Like I remember right around launch, I actually had to block somebody's, like report somebody's Miiverse art because like it was just some really awful like xenophobic thing towards Japanese players, and I'm just like, really? This is what we are now? Yo, this one sub is saving lives out here.
Yeah, you know how bullshit that is?
It is. It's just completely bullshit, but I love it so much.
What sub is what, a percentage?
I would have just
I
said
don't
if it was like a...
I think that shit was pretty
Right?
I did less than...
Somebody's doing the crawling rush thing here.
Acorn probably had... like, scans.
I actually admit, I feel for that charger because, like...
Oh, I read that Armor good guy. Free.
What happened?
He tries lock.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what was that? Some kind of community?
Japanese tournament.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
So I hope Nintendo's paying attention.
I mean,
season
Nintendo has to be. Didn't they use like pretty much like that exact layout for a Salmon Run demonstration at Gamescom? I really
Also,
like, and all of these also affect balance. Kind of sad to see many people like, done with this.
Hey, at least it doesn't have Inkzuka from Splatoon version 1.0. We could instantly pull it out.
One frame startup.
You'd be in the
Yeah,
middle of a
and
fight
then-
with a Tentacruel, and then you just evaporate.
Like, the one thing I'll say is, like, I definitely feel like Inkjet at least has that, like, where if someone pulls out an Inkjet, I feel like, oh, I can maybe swim up and kill them, but in Splatoon 1, whenever Zuka came out, it's like, okay, just hide somewhere.
Yeah.
yep.
And it's
Yeah.
funny too because it's like Izuka was still absurd even with all the nerfs it got. Like, do remember that it did get a shot interval nerf, like, because people were just doing wild things like immediate shots and like I forgot it was like I think there was one extra shot that you had in the vanilla version versus
Yeah.
the patch version because of the interval.
It had a very fast rate.
Oh, fuck. What is this weapon? 96? Yeah.
Ah, I got played. Flat Junior is coming into our court. He hit in 10 attack ball.
Oh, God. Oh, no. What even happened?
Let's fight the Jets.
I'm getting a lot of assists. I like this. Whoever just got this.
These are mine. I got assists.
Yeah. Look at these skills I got. Then try Slasher. These are mine now.
These are mine.
I made them.
He still managed to kill me. There's that weird shit right there. So honestly, I should have aggressed, but whatever, I'm having fun.
Wait.
Actually does team plays. Please. Ah, I heard 3. That was 3? No, because if it was 3,
Ow.
then I could have expected somebody to follow up. Oh,
Oh, wait, on your end.
oh,
Somebody order more. Inkblot.
Oh, no. There's...
What's up with the sound at the sloshing machine?
Oh, this is 96.
bye.
There's like a
Oh, that's a
DJ
jet.
to it.
Wait, what happened there? I'm gonna just try and...
Every time someone with a sloshing machine runs by me, it sounds like someone is moving the base.
What do you mean about Inkjet?
I'm sorry.
Almost.
Wash over the sponge.
Oh, my God. 96 got it.
Hi.
But I mean, that's the one time to try Slaughter.
Oh, messed that up.
Man, it's really annoying having to fight 96 on the stage. All the straight fucking hallways.
I don't see you. There's a lot of things that are happening back there. Come on, guys. Put the ink into the zone. Thank you. I couldn't kill him. You have been visited by the ink armor of healthy metal.
Yeah.
Oh, you could've. Yeah, for sure.
Oh god.
Alright. There I tried.
Wow, okay. Just pop up and kill me because... Oh my god.
Oh, what? I hate how some inklings just go completely invisible once they start moving through ink. Like, when you're tracking them, it's fine, but then suddenly they're just not where you wanted them.
They just had more armor than us. Like, that's literally what happened.
Oh, what? Probably. Dude. They had a juice prize. Oh, wow. They have 3 things. And I think it's one. This is
Hey, that's Chrissy.
This is me. Just trying to farm ability chunks.
Yes.
Like, if you get 3 wins, you get 1 slot, and then it's only 2,000. I might just scrub after 1 slot.
Yeah, I've been doing that as well.
Because you can make enough money to pay for it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing the 1 slot scrub as well.
It's the way to go. It's only 2K.
odd. Honestly, price of scrubbing is price on.
Yeah, it does.
Right now, kind of stifles me because, like, you have to amass 60
Yeah.
things in general, purify or do whatever triple with your gear.
Honestly, it should have just been like a flat 10, regardless of what
Yeah,
else is on
what's
the gear.
crazy is a lot of us have like upwards of 150 hours, and we still have builds that are entirely theoretical because we can't make them.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like, so do you really need like 1,000 hours to get everything you want? Really?
And that's the sad part. I think with $1,000, you probably have at best like maybe 4 or 5 complete like ideas and looks, whatever.
Yeah, like if you think you might need like 12 equipment to do exactly what you want, and if it's not a natural triple, it's gonna take you 1,000 hours.
And then the worst part, and then the worst part is like in my case, I'm basically just building everything around a basic concept for everything. But then what happens if I want to specialize?
Yeah. Oh, you can. It just costs 60
I can
ability
kill him?
chunks.
There's an octobrush on top of the right phone.
Oh god. Fuck it. Top mid. Okay, dude.
Where's this octobrush? Oh,
Why
I
can't
know.
I hit the guy?
Yeah. Seriously, go away. Try Slosher as always. Oh, that's cracked though.
Oh, what?
Okay.
What even hit me? What?
I don't know if Get Cracked is big anymore, but yeah, that's him.
Gig cracker.
Get cracking.
Fine. What is this?
So what is, like, I feel like my inputs are just not registering what's happening. But no, I mean, like, I can't squid form. Like, that's never happened before, where I just, like, refuse to go into squid form.
Wow, this flat one go. Oh.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. QR's heavy splatling? Why? Why are you doing this?
Maybe they literally don't know.
No!
He's got a pure
Yeah,
fucking piece
that's
of
the
pure
other
head
part
here.
of things with
Why?
like, SM further adds to the conversation about gear perks, right? Where it's like, I see that you have your build set up a certain way with this ability. Let me put this thing up on Anyzon and make it even harder for you.
Yeah.
Please get off. Hi, bro. Hi, bro.
Wow.
Right, we lost?
Oh, that's weird. I definitely killed a lot of people.
Or didn't
Oh, we had a
our
zero.
base cover.
What is? Oh my
Ah,
god! Every
Taco!
fucking time. Every time I get up here.
Oh, I gotta go BRB. Like 5
Wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna scrub as well now.
You didn't see the bomb next to him? What?
Oh no, that's dead.
Yeah, oh, you did the thing too.
Okay, game. Why would you make it look like that you could go down there? God.
Yo, I swear to God, this bro is just like evaporating me.
What? Who? Where?
Why would explain to me why it would look like I could?
Cause H-E.
That's not funny. Also, why not make
Okay,
that
this
part of
fucking
this
needs
match?
to go.
How far can I get?
Wow. I'm a little tired of that now. Ah! Yo, I swear to God, this bro is making that weapon look like a handbag. Oh well. Oh. Can he come back?
No.
Nah. But yeah, like, that pro was killed way too what it was.
I mean, pros
Oh, well.
kill him really quick in general.
Whatever.
It's not you, it's me. There he is again.
Right, time to get bodied on. Ugh, the other one's for.
You like muscle or
Oh, you mean turf? Yeah. I'm only getting muscle forts as well. Rough time.
like how last night the only thing we got was Moray Towers when the thing first came out.
Yeah. Rough times.
Muscle 40.
It's why I'm actually genuinely what it is right now. On summer. Does all the things nice, but I hope that with enough time we don't just come back to yeah this and yeah.
Leave.
You know something else that would be really cool though? I kind of wish if like you could also get bonus rewards like with certain wins. I don't know what conditions you'd give, but like if like let's say every 5 wins you get rewarded with chunks. Like a batch of 10 random chunks. Like here, have some.
Oh yeah, that would go.
Yeah,
along,
like
yeah.
I was thinking about that too. Like there needs to be rewards for leading. Like just
Maybe
getting weird
maybe
medal.
at loot boxes. They can put randomly.
Nah. Once you introduce the loot box, never close that Pandora's box.
I mean, some would run sort of like loot boxes, except it's very specific how you get them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all
Actually,
they
if
have
you
to do
could
is
get those.
let you pay money for them.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't hang a pay model along with the boxes, it might still be good.
God, why?
As long as you don't charge for it.
mean, honestly, Nintendo would make a lot of money from hardcore players if they charge for stuff like that, but I think it would ruin their kid-friendly
Why
image.
would they make this messed up?
They would make mad money. It's
Hi,
actually
Bird Mom.
scary to think about it.
But
I think that's
they don't want their
anything.
kids
Wait till
stealing their
you see
parents' credit
October that
card.
knows how to use that.
They're just running
Yeah.
up the bill.
What the fuck?
Oh, that's what's happening. Okay.
Oh god. That's what you get for being such a sexy monkey.
Please.
Yeah, if you could pay money for random 5 ability chunks.
Okay.
Oh, hi.
Man, I don't know about the design of this giant fucking killer just obstructing your view. You just get, like, randomly
Oh, I have
flanked
run
by...
speed. I'm playing on the great for a reason.
Oh my god, this is so cool.
Oh, join on you
I
guys.
can do this now. I can do this now. This is great. Oh my god, I don't have to worry about like heights anymore. Just stand up there with the inkjet, and it's a regular ass blaster now. That's actually cute. I'm gonna have to learn that. See, here's the problem right here. You get a brush up there, and how do you deal? Oh boy,
God damn it.
somebody else has caught on. You die. I don't want this. Leaving. Aww.
You know, like, in theory, you would think Splatling would be really good on this stage, but, like, the short-range automatic weapons just do so much better on the fucking grates. It's so annoying.
Yeah, like, what do you call it? If any, I think.
God, fuck it. I just can't do anything with this weapon. There's, like, literally no reason to not just use the same fucking 5 weapons.
That's the thing, there's 5
Oh.
weapons to choose from. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I buckled as well. If I play rank right now, I also take defense attack. It's like I don't want to play.
Anything,
I still...
it's just to focus on the pro and the brush. The other two are manageable, but those two are keeping everything.
Like, there's...
Oh,
like,
hi.
you could say focus on them, but there's nothing I can actually do to them. Like, literally. Like, they could just climb up a wall and insta-kill me. Or, like, just fucking
Oh, shoot.
pop up around a corner and I'm dead. Like,
Sorry.
I just can't do anything.
Yeah, I'm really in a crisis with all my shooters, man. Ever since they nerfed Rodok in Overwatch as well, it's like, oh, I can't play this competitively anymore. That's so annoying.
Why am I playing Muscle?
Yeah, why are we?
I had one. I like the new map. It can get, if somebody controls the top though, it can get really bad. Ow!
See if I can try some. Not much better, but it'd be interesting. Like I wanna put grind some speed chunks, but Object Shredder as a main doesn't really help a charger.
And that reading.
Panic with the Fling's a good choice.
Yeah, I'm going back to the fun weapons. It's like I've been playing with the tent attack for a couple of days now, but it's like I'm
But
not
getting
actually
kills is
enjoying
fun.
the game when I play it.
That's the thing that really sucks though. It's like you can definitely still feel the fun in that aren't the de facto standard,
Yeah,
but then it's like the de facto standard is just so much powerful.
yeah. Oh my god. The flick didn't kill. It hurt.
The arrow spray's the only one up. Push! Oh wait, there's nobody on my team.
Don't you wish you had that with Carter up now?
No!
I ran out of ink. God damn it, I ran out of ink.
You threw out a bomb, man. You can't do that.
Thank you for that. Oh, okay. None of that.
Are you liking the sloshing machine, sir?
Oh, hell yes.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like it.
I just need ink saver stuff, but I'm upgrading this shirt, so it's gonna be a rough one.
We have 2 charges, I just noticed those.
Yep.
Wow.
Couldn't hear it. Damn it.
Damn, he's so hungry.
Wow,
You're gonna
wow.
kill me
Wow!
with this.
Wow!
Ah, that's a loss.
It's Nintendo. That's why. Why are they bringing back the custom ink brush or whatever it's called? Ink brush Nouveau.
Ink armor was.
No ink armor. It's Bubba and Ink Blot.
Yeah, baller and ink.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's baller?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's funny because ink armor is supposed to be their placement, but they realized that would make it too legitimate, and they actually wanted to be a true.
Oh crap, that bomb.
Oh,
Probably isn't far from the truth.
Meanwhile, they don't. All they have to do is give it
Jesus Christ.
give it sprinkler and ink storm, and it'll be fine. That's all people want is to paint with it.
Boy, oh boy, this
now
charge
the
is
arrow
pretty.
sprays have that.
But you gotta pick Umbrella for that.
Wait, what? That was some reach. Oh boy. Hi there.
No.
Really? Ink armor? Really?
Get out of here.
Okay. Can I please play with my friends game?
Oh, God.
Oh shit, I died in the zone.
Oh, no.
No, let's not booyah when they have the zone.
Come on.
Wow, this guy is gonna go all in for this kill.
Sorry.
Oh, I didn't have enough for a bomb, really?
All 4 of us were there, Sarah.
I know, I had nothing. I wanted to break out because the rest of the or don't know what to do, and I'm at a loss too because I'm at a loss.
I'm at a loss.
Oh, I wish that person had used Venomous was like a second later. I got the quad lock.
Whoa.
Oh, I missed.
Oh, I missed.
Oh, I...
Guys, could you not like look
Oh,
down
okay.
and shoot?
No, that's exactly what they're doing. It's sad.
Alright, that's now I can kill Mr. Panic.
No, no. Get out of here.
Do it, Chickamauga! Do it! Yes! Alright.
Damn you! I should have used my
Oh, what,
weapon,
the rest is-
but I was too committed.
God damn it. God damn it.
Jam is playing in the turret?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Won our first match.
All the way. I felt how.
Oh, time to scrub.
Already. Are you using drink ticket version?
No. You only need 3 or 4 games to scrub. It's sort of crazy. Assuming you win most of them.
But
Yeah.
Remember how they said that trip tickets actually don't work on FST?
yeah, they don't.
Guess what? You can use QR ticket, QR drink ticket,
Oh.
and get rid of the QR ticket.
That's the
Oh.
perfect use.
That's pretty smart.
I have 7 of those.
Oh, there's somebody coming along.
So
Alright.
now you can get the 2 instead of the 1 sub and
Ah, damn it.
unless they're lying and it actually does work.
That's a stingray. Oh, how did they...
Well, we don't know if they picked
Oh my
him
god, I
up.
made it to mid and nothing happened. Christian and Mr. Pen was on my
Oh no. I'm
What- how did I-
you.
Wait.
How
Wait,
did that
really?
not kill him? Are you fucking... I got all the hit markers. Okay.
That happened.
Like, I stopped shooting because I got all the hit markers, and then he just didn't die.
There's a Tri-Blocker all the way out there in the mid. Happy to be there in mid.
Someone's got... Oh, fuck. Yep.
What happened?
Heavy
Oh,
in the zone.
I think I hit a umbrella and not the heavy. Here comes the ink armor. This guy's literally just gonna stand there and blow up just trying to get me one. Like, come on. Put down the umbrella.
How the
Where's
fuck
that heavy?
are you...
Wait!
How? Ah, that is...
How is this Tri-Blocker getting it? I mean, I get it, ninjas, but... Whoa. But...
Fuck! What am I doing?
Watch out for the splatling hiding on the right. Ah, good. Oh no, Tri-Slash is right down.
Got it.
I don't know where the second one is.
Fuck, that's
Oh,
not
there it
heavy.
goes. Thank you for that explosive.
Traded with heavy. Ah, they will control shit.
These guys are gonna learn to not walk stupid on these. Okay?
Ah,
Ah, I didn't see.
what? Son of a bitch.
No worries, man.
Improvising with flag.
Wait! That stingray kinda killed really quickly. I think I was stepping in.
Oh, there's a. Killed one
Yeah, there's
bucket.
2 side bosses and 1 has ninja squid. Be careful.
All I have to say about the fling guys, I'm glad they added assists to the kill count.
Wow, that was
God, nice. Oh, I want to get back there actually, cause now
One more game till scrub.
we basically got their court now.
whatever.
I'm using double stream as well.
Price locker now.
But
Guys-
after that, I'm gonna get rid of my QR.
Yeah, me as well.
You got the armor off though.
Oh,
Gotta use
Wow!
that experience stick as well.
Whoa!
It still works.
this happens way too often to be anything but like shenanigans. Oh my god.
Oh, carrots.
Oh hey, this map is in rotation.
Hey, this map. I wanna learn this map a little
Good
more.
job, Will.
Thanks.
I have to see a new map.
Gonna go scrub. I'll be right back.
So much,
Okay.
like, it adds so much. I think it adds more than a new one.
Of course it does. You play on the map more often. There are so many other weapons already. Never know. It's like you never know if you'll like a. You'll never know if you like a weapon, but you'll have multiple alternatives. Whereas a map can like there's a set amount of those, and you'll be playing on them for pretty much every time you play the game.
Damn it!
Yeah, it's always the maps that make or break a game.
I wish there was a special. I wish there was a gear ability that made it so your special lasts.
I kind of
You activate it.
wish if like I know this is probably just sense plus the fact that we played a lot of, but I really wish if they had made it so that what do you call it? They would pair one old map, like a
Take it
returning
out.
map, with a new map. I feel like that's fair.
Why does the aerospace stand on the raised platform shooting into the middle? You have a short range weapon.
Gotta be honest though, I don't know if I like this map. I mean,
Yeah, I'm
it's
not sure.
beautiful and everything, but this layout is irritating the shit out of me.
Yeah,
that's-
if
that's-
someone gets past you and gets into your base, it's like a maze trying to go backwards on the stage.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
what?
choke towards mid is so annoying to deal with.
Flatling is God on this.
I mean, people can just climb up the walls and then insta kill you.
I'm
Thank you,
sorry,
Mr.
Sarah,
Curtis.
yeah. I was too late on marriage.
Alright. But that person's super jumping. Not smart.
I don't know. He's an aerospray. He can beat me in CQC. Oh no, it's a regular splat only. Oh, and parry. I mean,
And like the pillar in the center of the stage is really annoying for splatling because it's just a huge giant blind spot and anyone could just walk around the corner at any time. It's really annoying.
This
there's
hustler should
that-
camping. Get out of here.
yeah, I feel like the pillar could actually be like the bait of this level.
I kind of wish the pillar was just like not inkable, honestly.
I hate it. This sticker spot where we died. It's so annoying. Yeah, but they can climb up from every angle. Why? I feel like the front cover shouldn't be inkable. Right? It's like you either have to come from the grate or from the side.
Oh, who you? Not a sensei.
That person's literally climbable from everywhere.
Ooh, what? Okay. This
Where
man
did they go?
flew through everything
Yeah.
that I had up. Wait, what is this guy doing? Why does this game keep doing this to us?
Oh my
Why-
god, fuck. This team is really low rated too, so if we lose this, we're just screwed.
This entire team has.
I personally
Oh, what?
don't really care much about. Oh, I'm
God.
sorry. I should have said that.
They're
Like
just
we
all in
have-
respawn right now.
It's Team Dooley featuring Flimza.
There's one hiding out on the right. Be careful.
Yeah, he's run away, so.
Yo, my man got red so hard.
There's a Tenatech hiding on the left lane.
Oh my god, that dude got red so hard.
Oh, come on.
Forward. Yeah.
Wow, that was horrible.
Oh my god, who has 10 missiles? Didn't I kill the? No, that was the other one.
Yeah, 2 of us have 10 missiles.
I'm gonna need Inkblot. I can't believe it. I'm actually gonna need Inkblot.
I hate it. Damn it.
Did Matthew DC or something? Like,
I did not see the ink amount.
I honestly don't know.
God.
Okay, what's up with the bucket? Why is everybody so far back? Hate that.
This guy killed 2 of us with a curling ball.
Okay, that close-up flick is actually quite terrifying.
If it can hit you, but it often
What?
can't.
I mean, I failed miserably there. No, you scumbag.
It's a goddamn
I
bucket!
hate it! How the fuck am I getting wrecked by a slush? This is not okay. Time to step my game up.
I presume.
Gotta roll, and then use this. Wait, this.
What?
Oh, it wasn't you. I just missiles. Dude, how'd you hit me with that?
I just bounced off of somebody without doing damage. What? Okay, oh, whatever game.
I think rollers still have that weird 0 range where you have to be right on the model.
I never played
Oh,
enough roller
man.
to get the...
He DC'd! He jetpacked into the air and then moved!
Oh, the air parry.
And
Yeah.
parry! What the F?
That sounds amazing.
Ah!
Oh.
Oh! I
It actually killed! Ah!
Let's go over here and see what it's playing.
Oh my god.
That's good.
Sorry about that, Will. I hate these. It works, that's the thing.
Okay,
Look at this bucket going.
time to scrub, baby.
Wow. More of this.
Ah, no. God damn
I
it.
like drive. I need anchor. I can't believe I've gone in game not using anchor.
Watch out up there. Not that guy.
Why do all the subs your place there you can't go on them? Like, only what makes it so cool about it is
Stuff.
You got a
Bitch.
reticle. What's going on? Got a reticle one.
I'm so close to my pure ink saver main head.
Wait, what?
Just 3 more chunks and I'm there.
Okay. Have you seen the Tricloper anywhere?
Yeah, they're kind of all in the left zone. I think Tri-Slash is up top.
Trying so hard to hit him.
Got it.
Oh, good. Nice.
Damn you, Sora.
Ew.
Oh, fuck.
Why did that not that well?
Tri-Slash is up top again with the win.
Ah, here we go again. What? Seriously.
Traded with Tri-Slash.
So this aerospray strat right here is
Wow.
actively frustrating because he's just walking around in a circle on the grate while throwing
Yeah,
his
like
curler.
that's why I hate that stupid pillar. You can literally just like hide behind the pillar all day.
So you're telling me is left speed aerospray on that team because of bomb rush. Got 2 at the bomb, bro.
Dragon Rain.
Oh my gosh. Missiles. Yo, fuck that Tricloper! There he goes on the wall.
Like you can, if you have like a short range, high time to kill gun, you can literally just run around on the grates all day, and it doesn't fucking matter. It's like literally no one will be able to stop you.
Oh hey, it did the DNS error while I was actually out of the
This
game.
game was fair and balanced. Look how close it was.
Ah, fucking god damn it!
What exactly is happening? Tri-Slosher again.
Like, you know what? I don't really care what Natty says anymore. Tri-Slosher is straight up bullshit. Like,
Always says that way though. Like, the thing about it is, it's not so much bullshit because of the idea that like it can't be fought. It's more like it's just super awkward, and then there are stages that really
yeah, like
create.
this, like Tri-Slosher on this
advantages
stage is fucking broken. Like, holy shit.
Huge, I'm still in kind of a discovery phase with it, and right now I have just discovered that Tri-Slosher is probably going to be really gross here. Like, really, really, really gross. Also, Silver Arrow Spray, because I really can't believe that that strat worked. Like, this person literally just farmed Bomb Rush somewhere, then would just walk around the entire graded area, throwing curlers in a 360-degree radius. Like, it worked! Because who can challenge it on the ground, and every time you go up to them at the perch, it's like the Tri-Slosher's there, so...
Like, you literally can't do anything on the stage without going under the grates or trying to climb the wall, and a Tri-Slosher can just camp up top and kill you no matter what you try to do.
I feel like I just... But it is rough. It's rough if they get their optimal going. Though at the same time, I feel like I run into armor as much as that match. Okay, I'll be right back. Oh wait, you can swim up that area? That's not fun. Ah, this controller. Oh, you left the room?
No.
Scared. Okay, let me come back then. Figures. Alright. The funny thing is, I can actually play all. But yeah, like, just thinking about this some more, it's like, in general, I'm in a weird position. I'm in a weird position thinking about
That wasn't
like,
me.
Price Walker, and just like in general, the weapons that are super strong in this game at current, because I didn't, with the exception of Octobrush and obviously Pentatech, I didn't really play much of them to say anything on them definitively. So, like, when Rapid is being excellent, like, out of the blue, when, oh, this person just died, they wiped. But yeah, like, I just basically don't want to step on anybody's toes, but there are some weapons that you have, like, even if you are the biggest main and advocate for them, you have to be able to step back and see why somebody else would consider it an issue. Like, my initial analysis was that there just aren't enough weapons in the game yet that actually gave these people a hard time. But then, at the same time, there's so much else going on.
Like, honestly,
I don't know if that's a justified thing.
Like, honestly,
A justifiable position to have.
but the thing is, if you're gonna design stages like this, where Tri-Slosher actually has an even bigger advantage over, like, other short-range shooters, it's like, there's just so much verticality, and there are just, like, spots where you'd have to do, like, ridiculous arcs with a gun to do what Tri-Slosher can do by just, like, looking vaguely, or, like, looking in a direction, sort of, and just pushing the shoot button. It's like...
Speaking of Tri-Slosher,
Yeah, that should.
Like, I just...
yeah, honestly, yeah.
I just feel like if they're gonna give the Tri-Slosher, like, bucket mechanics, they can't make it so comparable to a gun. Like, it has to have a bigger downside.
I see. Oh, this is a thing in front of me.
Armor, right?
Like, I like how this.
Yeah, that's the thing that my brother just kind of mentioned that I'm kind of in agreement in, just for zones, or at least the rank modes. Like, the wall leading up to that lift where you're on right now.
Yeah, like this right here. Yeah, that's
yeah.
what the fucking Tri-Slosher and stuff, the brush was doing a few matches ago. Just pop up there and then you're just dead. Like what do you even do to stop that?
Thank you, Bucket, for not doing it. God.
Yeah, like this whole mid area of the. Oh god. Fuck. Really?
Heb je nou dat ding aangezet? Ik doe eens niet. Ik doe net het ding uit. Dat heb ik geen ding op gezet.
Well, like that whole like middle mask area, it's just like so heavily designed for like auto fires, short range, quick shooters. It's so bad.
Fuck it.
And like even if you like, even
Ow,
just like
can't get it
looking
back,
at
though.
like going into the
Ow.
enemy base, it's so much easier for like the short range shooters to just pop down, paint a wall real quick, and then fly back up. It's just
Yeah.
like this whole map is just designed for these weapons.
Well, most of the new maps
In a game that was already very heavily skewed towards
Yeah.
them.
If you look at any big open area, they almost all have little bumps so the short range weapons can swim up to them and get cover. Like the whole thing's built around 10 attack range, like the entire game.
Alright, this guy's gonna come up. And that guy's coming up now.
Fuck, yep.
Oh, it's a bucket. Damn it. Not in here, sir. Sir? You see, this is the shit I don't understand, though. There are so many people who are just willing to walk through the absolute worst scenarios presented in front of them just because it means that they can trade. Like, you can't condition these people anymore. It's just, will you actually kill them in the trade? That's really what you've got to plan around. Thank you. And here's this guy again. Oh my god, I'm bad. Here's the brush.
God, fucking see, the brush just did that thing again. Great.
Okay, so you know what? I know what the new plan is. We gotta make sure that wall is not painted in their color anymore.
Oh, how the fuck?
Wait,
how the
what?
fuck? That is bullshit. I can just fucking camp a Tri-Slosher's fall point and he still fucking wins? Like, why? Like, a Tri-Slosher should not be able to jump down into Dually Fire and still win. Why?
Yeah. It has faster sloshes, so that's a big thing that's doing a lot of...
That and the lack of any damage fall off at all. Like, that's like the thing, like, they've made it fire fast enough and have enough range to basically be like a gun, but have none of the downsides of a gun, so it's just like...
Yeah, its only real weakness compared to a gun is like splatter dashing.
Yeah, like, it's kind of, like, mobility and, like, strafing is not as good, but...
But it has a burst bomb. Yeah, like, that's the thing. You gave it a burst bomb. How do you think I'm gonna use it? Burst bomb. But, it's funny, too, because it seems like anytime there's a discussion like this about a certain weapon, you know what its weaknesses are, but then it has a burst bomb, and it's like, oh, this thing is godlike.
It's like custom jet all over again.
And, like...
Custom jet, carbon...
The fact that it's like... The fact that it's slightly longer range than every other fucking weapon that they made that range is just like... Why?
Okay, guys, sorry to derail for a little bit, but if you somebody would splash down and might actually be damaged. Because I just hit somebody and and they died.
I kind of wonder about like splashdown sometimes, like, cause how is it that sometimes we see them like do attacking animations or Squid Kid at the top of the splashdown? Like
that
how
is
does
my
it work?
personal favorite.
Like if I just do button inputs mid splashdown, is someone gonna see me actually Squid Kidding or firing my gun? Like,
I mean, you know, you can put depending on what weapon, you actually an animal. Like jumping, rising, and I'm like, and then you get killed with the blast radius after that. The Tri-Slosh is moving far left, be careful. My team. What are you doing? How are you
fuck, that one is unpaintable apparently. Oh, God.
Seems just general awareness spells.
Ah, shit, they already got behind us.
Yeah,
unequal areas need to be a little more.
Yeah, like there was this one box
God.
where like one out of the 3 sides is uninkable, and I saw the Tri-Slosher go up to one of the inkable sides. I was like, oh, I'll just paint this side and follow him. No.
What? I'm mad.
But I'm not doing the best job keeping track of range. Please leave.
Fuck. God damn it.
I said ouch over there. What happened? All the way up there? No. Where's that charger?
I don't get how...
Machine, I'll be honest, if the flush machine had come out before the buff to the dually, this shit would have killed it for me.
I don't get how you kill me so consistently with that. when I was using it, it was like everybody has to like.
They're all trying to move towards the right.
At least.
It's actually kind of hard to
Good. Got the shooter on the left. Got the broad.
Yeah. I never understood it in Splatoon 1 either, so.
I don't know. I use like when I'm using personally.
Trade it with the.
Using a rapid fire switch. So I'm just sitting in game like have a look. Alright. That's how it's always. Okay. That's how I.
Maybe I should just take it to the practice range.
I use a lot of strafing.
Yeah.
What's the discussion in the main chat about?
I think I started it when I was talking about E-Leader earlier, but I've been kind of losing track. Doing too technical.
No, it's usual talking about 10 attack and Tri-Slasher.
Oh.
Honestly, I was pretty much on board the train that the Tri-Slosher does not need a reevaluation.
Oh my god, really?
Up until the point when this stage came into it. Now it's kind of like slowly reaching a point where like it's gonna need to be looked into, but I don't think it needs nerfs.
Fix the
Other weapons need more look.
Yeah, longer range weapons need to have more viability. Besides the rapid, that's the only one.
Like I feel like a lot of these long range weapons are not going to be viable on these stages. Like I don't know what you could do to make them more viable.
Yeah, because it's like the stage design is promoting a lot of the stuff that their shorter ranges are getting away with.
I kinda wish that the Tri-Slash.
Yeah. It's
I'm like,
My
You know
thing
what?
is, like, the big thing for me is that the game is meant to reward you a lot for, like, map awareness, you know, like, just the practice of looking at your map and stuff, but you can't do that for stuff like flanks, because the map doesn't pick up on any of that well enough. So you can be really aware of the map, but you'd still get blindsided really easily if you're playing at range, with, like, literally anything other than, like, a shooter.
also they need to up-react, like, buff it so that we just react to it. Part of it is that they're probably pressing slush and the game is updating too.
Yeah, I definitely die really fast to buckets in particular, because it's like I'll see and get hit by the one slosh, and then before I can really react, I'll be dead already. It's like old Luna. It's like if you got hit once, you're already dead.
Why is this person continually in our base? Easily, yes.
I guess as an E-Leader main, I'm not allowed to have it.
Now go cover that turf.
Just me not relying.
Everyone's down. Now go. Yes, it's a wipe. Now cover that turf in our base. We'll push in. Got this. Up into
It's just always really concerning when you see discussion in the main chat, and it's always like everybody's looking at the short term in terms of, oh hey, I don't want them to touch my weapon. Look at what they did to rollers. Look at this. Look at that. Or like, then there are the few who you can low key tell are just loving the changes because it allows what they like to be better. But it just feels like, as it is right now, we're nudging towards this weird situation where there's gonna be a bunch of shit that's just super dominantly good for none of the reasons why they should be good, and everything else is just like unattractive to play. And that's inherently worse to me than something being too powerful or too weak. If it's not fun to play, then what's the point?
Yep. Also, what bitrate are you streaming at, Azure? Because I'm getting a lot of buffering.
Right now, but I was actually considering dropping it anyway, so
Okay.
I'll handle that after this match.
Yeah, 'cause
Ah,
I'm averaging like an
You know what?
entire minute
I've
per
realized
stream.
if your
That
stage,
seems-
if the game stage isn't mid to if the stage isn't designed like that, it's designed for people to continually run into your game and
I think the worst part about it is that there's just nothing in the game. There's nothing in the game that dispromotes that. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I had this discussion a few weeks ago talking with, I think it was Shooch, where it said the entire reason Firefin Charger is a popular pick right now isn't because of Charger. It really is not because of the Charger it's attached to. It's because of the fact that Bomb Rush is one of the few, Suction Bomb Rush is one of the few things in the entire game that forces people to sit back and actually think about walking in. And even that's not a guarantee. Some people will walk right through your bomb field to just try for the trade.
Yep.
It's like there's just nothing in the game right now that says that promotes that kind of, hey, you know what? I'm actually in a position that you need to respect.
Tri Sloshers need to learn some Tri Sloshers what range is.
No. The range of the trash.
No, I got the direct on him, and I'm expecting him to just push back. He's going forward. I'm like, okay.
Because his hitbox is crazy. He killed me from a distance.
No, I definitely have the range advantage on him. It's just off that I'm like, I want to fight like.
The other thing I'm really not a fan of, like, I've kind of been just being quiet about it, but I'm not a fan of disingenuous arguments, even if you're trying to play for the sake of, like, a joke or whatever. So, like, seeing this thing here, where it's like, just remove all non-shooter classes, fair and balanced game. I'm like, please stop being sensitive over the fact that your thing is being discussed because it's really strong.
Yeah, please. Like, I would appreciate people doing less of the whole, you know.
Because it's just funny to me that it's the same, like, I'm just seeing this from 90 right now, and I'm thinking to myself, it's funny that this is probably also somebody who would tell me that, like, my charger is broken.
Yeah, like in the first game, there was a whole bunch of talk about, like, oh, you know, this weapon and that weapon is so busted or whatever. I can't do anything with this weapon because that weapon exists. And now, like, it's flipped in their favor, and they just forgot all about ever doing that. It's a really frustrating thing that to keep going through.
But the problem with that is, Bucket ended up being that everybody slept on.
It was always
Fair
that
enough.
good. That's the funniest part.
Enough that everybody slept on it, but Bucket was just honestly ended up being that good.
Like, it's the same with me with E-Leader, right? Like, I was totally, the entirety of Splatoon 1, I, like, endured a bunch of salt and bullshit about, oh, you know, chargers aren't actually, they just rely on X part of the kit or damage up. But, like, I was still able to look past that and have genuine discussion about it because it is really strong, and I felt like it was a bit too strong for certain reasons. And I was totally fine with the idea of it getting tweaked. But now it's like, if I say anything about E-Leader, I'm just salty that I don't have my strong kit anymore. It's like, fuck off. Maybe suck my dick. No, it's not why I'm upset about it. I'm upset about it because I can't play it effectively at all in like any situation outside of baby turret. Not a thing.
I mean, even when Nike drops it, you know something's wrong.
I don't think he even played it, honestly.
Honestly, like, Nike was, I mean, yeah, it is kind of funny, like, you know what's wrong when Nike drops it, but, like, at the same time, he kind of seemed like he was a little out of luck by the end of the last game, too, so
Maybe
I think he had that
just work out with it.
Yeah. It would just be nice if people would stop being so reactionary about the discussion and just be able to be objective about it. Because I was able to somehow do that despite having really shitty Steam issues with my start today. Entirety of the game.
Cindy? I mean,
No, not
she's
really.
been moving, so she hasn't been able to. So.
But Carbon, I don't understand Carbon.
Oh no, she doesn't play Carbon anymore.
It's like, okay, I'll be honest.
I don't think she does either.
She.
Open mind. I had an open mind. I'm like, okay, a lot of the stuff that they're trying to.
The honeymoon period is over.
I gave Carbon the good one. I really, but I can't fathom why it would work the way it does now.
Carbon got a
All we
super
can say is
fast.
painting with the vertical flick is effective. That's it. That's all I can say about it.
But like the vertical
Like,
flick,
but-
it's so much slower. It just doesn't feel
Oh,
good
I
to
know.
paint
Not for
with.
killing. I just mean for painting.
When
It's pretty
No,
good.
like,
when
even
somebody
for painting.
explained to me that the vertical flick is just the same regular flick in terms of kill potential, I'm like, what the fuck is that about? And then somebody's like, oh, you have to aim down to get the full kill on regular. Why would I aim down?
Yeah, like,
Oh, yeah, with
why am I
Aiming down and
You have to aim
thus
down.
ruining your awareness of what's around you and being able to be blindsided by stuff. Oh yeah, just aim down.
Yeah, with vertical flick, you literally have to aim at their feet to get max range. Literally, the feet. If you aim at their mid range, you will lose range.
They need to change.
They do.
Horizontal, you don't have to aim quite at their feet, but for vertical, you definitely do. Sort of weird.
Fix your game, Nintendo.
Oh, it's over.
Do we know about the complaints from Japanese players or?
It'd be really nice to hear some.
I mean,
like, I haven't.
I've been looking on Twitter, and there are a lot of people complaining about E-Liter, Dynamo, Mini Splatling, and Luna. Those were the.
Oh, yeah, because they used to be.
And then they
but now
buffed
they're not.
only the Luna in that list.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I still want to say Luna's probably fine in the right hands. So
Okay,
Okay,
so
time to scrub.
another thing that I've learned in terms of talking about or craziness. You know when a player, when you get a player and they're off guard or you get a kill, like yeah, I worked for that and I got it and I did it, right? Something about these makes me like, yes, this is why the weapon's good. It's like, but like how you got that. Understand why, what's going on, pushed in at the right time. You got a kill, yes, but that was more about, being there and doing it, not this weapon is so great. Sometimes
Okay, I'm gonna remake.
Oh.
you do that
I
one
just started
lag,
doing
you
it,
do
so
that
I'll
one
be back
laggy
in a
move and get
few
blown up
minutes.
9 times out of 10.
Wait,
that one
wait.
move goes in the combo video. That's what it feels like with Aerosport.
But hold on a second. What did you say, Will?
I'm in a turf, so I'll join you in a few minutes.
Oh, okay.
I'm just stuck in a search for a battle screen right now.
oh,
It's been stuck on it for a minute.
I just joined Will's game.
Oh, well, I'm not gonna be here, so.
Oh, you're still in an old game.
No, I'm gonna drop to play League with Azure, so. So like
Don't
you
worry,
can join
Christian,
me,
I'm
but
joining.
I won't be in the room.
Gonna go.
The other console's not responding. It only took 2 minutes. Good game.
Wow.
Nope. At least the rotation is a little bit better now.
Feeling hot now. I think it's just. Fine, whoa.
Someone put it on 69. What a throw.
Oh.
Well, I mean, yeah, that is very true, Chooch, but the problem is, the other flip side to that is, it's really also equally tiring when everybody assumes that it's hyperbole being tossed around when somebody starts talking about any single weapon. Like, I don't know, like, it's a very weird scenario we're in right now, and it's led to a lot of stuff where, like, I just kind of opt out, but general, game is in a weird spot, but it has a lot of potential, and I kinda want to see it lived up to.
When they drop Black Belly.
Okay, but as soon as Black Belly goes up, like that whole week, I don't give a shit.
Talk about anything else. I'm playing that. I'm playing the map. That's my main Black Belly.
Tick rate can't be the answer for literally
I know,
everything
but I
else
feel
going
like-
on in the game. It'll
feel
definitely
like
help when they address it, but you can't
Like,
just...
you gotta. No, but I feel like if you address, like, side problem and work your way down, because they're taking buffing, patching.
surface level.
Surface level, what they can, what is visually apparent that they think is
So,
okay.
like, the thing is, though, I was thinking about it, and all the changes they've made, it's just been, like, super easy, like, parameter tweaks. Like,
Official.
Yeah, parameters.
like
yeah,
you've
parameter
changed the run
very
speed
easy.
variable, or you can change the ink efficiency, but that's not really fixing the problems with any of these weapons.
Yeah. Very superficial.
Like to fix rollers, you need to actually change the mechanics of how rollers work now. Like, but they just haven't gone that far, and I'm afraid that they might not ever go that far if this is the quality of buffs we're gonna get.
But yeah, like, I'm seeing Chooch mention this in stream chat now, and it's like, there's definitely an element of that. There is no doubt in my mind an element of that. That's why just now I was talking to Sorrow and I mentioned that, like, it can't always just funnel back to tick rate. Like,
I know.
it's a very no, I'm explaining
Oh,
something.
okay.
It's like, it's a very important part of the equation for sure, but to hear it, like, anytime it's like something goes wrong, it's tick rate. It's like, we all know it's tick rate. It's not a thing that we can, like, we can't escape it, but we also could do better about, like, not making it, like, the word of choice when it comes to bad situation, tick rate. Bad situation, such and such. It's like, we gotta have some sort of, like, I don't know, like, an actual dialogue about what's happening, because it goes both ways in that thing's case especially, so... But then, let me see. But, like, in general, I kind of don't agree with the, like, or at least, let me funnel it down a bit. Within the majority of Splatgap players, because everybody here plays this game to an insane degree, even if none of us here are the most competitive or are a part of teams or whatever else, right? We play it, we know it, because we played a fuckload of it and it's fun. I feel like everybody here is very much of the caliber necessary to have the proper dialogue on what the game is or what it's developing into. And that's fair. People with that level of dedication or passion towards the game will almost always have something new to say, some new perspective to explore, or will be the first to let you know that something is wrong. But at the same time, the one thing I want to see worked on, like a group consensus kind of effort, is I really need for everybody to sit back and realize that when we talk about certain things, it's not to say that whatever you're having fun with at the moment, something is wrong with it and we want it gone. It's more like, look at it in a vacuum and consider what people are saying versus, like, every other thing in the game.
Man, I got a triple during that. And
Sorry about that. Yeah, I know, I was trying to...
not on you, but just like their teammates all died too somehow.
You guys got it? Oh, yeah. Mechanic, what was my team? What the hell am I doing here?
Well, there was one guy, and he had a stingray, and instead of shooting it, he was just spamming the button, so the line just kept appearing.
That
Okay,
was me, you ass!
Oh, it wasn't
Okay,
you?
but... Okay.
Okay.
Yes!
I don't know. Oh, the
Okay,
last
but
guy
here's the
died.
thing, Chooch.
Well-
If it feels that way, how do you suggest we go about fixing it then?
Oh
Like,
my
I'm
God.
curious.
But that
This
kind of
guy-
behavior just came from
That was because I had nothing. I really didn't know what I was
Fuck.
doing there. I pulled it out. I'm like, oh, just go away.
There you go.
I don't know. I didn't actually do anything. I was just dying through your stuff the whole time.
I don't think anybody here is trying to downplay your ability with a 10-attack splatter shot, Chooch, but at the same
Oh, no.
time,
What?
the 10-attack splatter shot is a troublesome weapon currently.
I don't play your
Not to downplay or down.
It's kind of like endemic of a lot of the things people are addressing with the game, and that's why it's so popular to hear it mentioned.
Oh, I played I think personally it's an all-rounder weapon, and there are not a lot of other weapons all-rounder.
I think it's the fact that it's an all-rounder weapon that is better at certain niches than weapons that use
Yeah,
so
and
that
it's
niche.
an all-rounder weapon, and an all-rounder weapon, and yet it does roll better than specialized weapons. That doesn't make any sense. Ooh, I love freaking bombs!
That was nice.
But it's weird because like if all the weapons in the game went like heavy specialized in their role, and the devs didn't like nerf them because of what they did, like nerf what they did best, who would complain about this kind of thing?
No, I don't think it's a problem.
All-rounder weapons still would see it just as often. It means that you get some other weapons that, you know, are rolls better than it.
Yeah, because it's like, it's very telling. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. It's like, it's...
one still... Sorry,
Hold on.
One had the 10 attack in probes. Fine. It also had a lot of other weapons in probes. That's what I want to see more of. More of those weapons. But so that 10 attack and Inkjet are one of the weapons. Just because. And then you look at other weapons like, to be overly used. And they're not. It's weird.
Yeah, and it's not.
Look at the weapon, and it's like, it's because they literally figured what made that weapon good.
Yeah, and it's not because
They
like
honed it.
players are only playing 10. It's like people play 10 attack because it's like one of the few good weapons. It's not like a thing where players just need to play something else. Like I'm just mad at people for playing 10 attack. Like I can't get mad at you when that's the only like, good weapon to play.
You're right. And 10 attack occupies the just weapons series, which is, and I've named them Washing, Clipper, 10 attack. Those are the weapons that literally just stayed the exact same way in the transition. Like, when I say, oh no, when Swiffer came out, I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they just made it Clipper. No weird ass shit going on with also Jet, but
Wow. Okay. Bye.
But if more weapons could just come back in the same fashion that they were at the end of the then honestly I wouldn't complain this much. Like for instance, changing the offensive, changing the splashes from the defensive from the toxic mist sounded cool on paper, but like in practice, the way they changed the range differences, it makes it more of a struggle than ever before. And why? Why? Gotta ask why.
I personally don't care about how they change certain weapons. I just think that a weapon should always be good at the gimmicks that it's doing. So even if it's like unbalanced against certain weapons or whatever, that's still fine. But if it's like bad at what it's supposed to do, that's like the problem.
Yeah. Yep. The thing that I was about, like, all I was gonna contribute to this earlier was like, my brother kind of touched on the same sentiment. It's like the thing with like Tentatek in particular, like the Tentatek existed as an all-rounder weapon, one too, with probably a more overall broken special, and yet somehow it still didn't manage to become the face of the game the way that this Tentatek has. It's like, in that game, there were more things that kept it in check, because what the fuck does a Tentatek do versus a Dynamo's coverage? What the fuck does a Tentatek do versus an E-Leader's range on Moray? What does a Tentatek do against custom range blasters with aim? It's like, all of these, like, I'm naming things that could be quote-unquote broken, as much as I hate using the word now. Like, I hear you in the stream chat right now, so that's why I'm opting to not use broken. But it's like all of these things existed, and there was that like, at the time, I guess we didn't appreciate what it was because we just saw quick respawn this, we saw Luna Blasters doing the thing, but all of that stuff was there, and other things could still be present too. Like, I feel like Splatoon 1 is still a very underexplored game. But at the same time, it's like, Splatoon 2 comes out, and it's like, you'd expect the same level of diversity at like every level, not just top level. But it feels like people have either, like, there is some element of people not experimenting with things, sure. But at the same time, there's also way more like hyper, like, compression of roles, because a lot of the things that would fulfill one role either don't exist or got nerfed to the point where they feel like they don't exist, and then other things are just kind of like they're taking on those roles even though they really have no rights to it.
Yeah. Basically, it's like Splatoon 1 is like made to be like every different playstyles, and in 2 they try to like balance everything around the shooter or something. It's like, is this really balanced, or is it like making the game like less, making it like there's less variance in the gameplay?
Yeah, like I'll keep saying it until like there's some meaningful changes, but it's like a lot of weapons in this game feel like they would not have been brought back if not for the fact that they released a statement saying all of the old weapons would be back. Because a lot of weapons just don't function properly in this game because of like just the maps and also the context of all the other weapons that exist in it.
Yeah, like it seems like there's a lot of like redundancy at this point because they refused to let the weapons be what they used to be.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a lot of weapons just don't function the way that they were, like the way that they're advertised. Like Dynamo is still advertised as this, this gigantic wheelersome roller, but as a trade-off, we get to spread a crap ton of ink and stuff. And it's like, it doesn't fucking do that. It has range, but it doesn't have any extra range for range.
Vertical flick is like the ideal way to paint and kill now, which makes it ironically more like a shooter because you have to aim. So
yeah,
they clearly made rollers
like that's the annoying thing. Like if you want to cover turf, you have to like basically use it like it's a slow charge, or you have to full charge every time you.
And if you want to kill people at any effective range, you have to aim perfectly. So it's become a shooter. That's just worse than other shooters.
A lot of weapon classes that aren't shooters have this same exact range.
Of course, no, you're on tower.
Like, it shouldn't, especially now that damage up and everything is gone, E-Leader should not have more or less the exact same range as Splatter Scope. It makes no fucking sense. Like, I shouldn't have to fear the Splatter Scope because I am just forced to be in mid where the Splatter Scope is already to be able to influence anything.
Like, I feel like the fact that we had a balance patch and their idea of balancing some weapons was, hey, let's just give Dynamo and Ghoulies the same range as the Pen Attack. Like, why though?
Yeah.
Like, why is your idea of balance to just make everything the same? Like it feels like they just gave up and said, yeah, we just designed this game for weapons of this range. So let's just make everything better by putting them at this range. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's kind of that philosophy, game philosophy. Like that's it's like a truly balanced game isn't fun.
Like, I really don't understand either this like fixation on saying that this game is clearly better than Splatoon 1. Not to offend you or nothing, Peach, but I don't really see like what practical purpose that serves, and I don't really see where that can even apply, considering at least in the last game, more variants of weapons could function well without like, I don't know, without having to rely on their kit or whatever. Like, it's not a thing here. I can't really relate at all. I definitely don't think Splatoon 2 is a better game. Not yet.
I mean,
in terms of, there's a lot of quality of life things that are very much well appreciated. So in that respect, I can definitely say that Splatoon 2 is the better game. But at the same time, in terms of like moment-to-moment actual playing of the game, there are a lot of things that just leave one scratching their head. And God forbid,
shit.
see, I got off lucky because like the weapons I said from the beginning I'd be playing more of. I had my brush. Splatter scope is still kinda sorta splatter scope, and then dualies were like the trailer weapon that got me the most excited for the game. And all three of those, wow. And it's like, all of those are fantastic. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't be, what do you call it? Like, I got up way luckier than a lot of people did, so it just doesn't serve anybody for me to sit here and say, oh, the game is better because I have things I can play in it. I mean, that's a good thing in my case, but then some folk are just like unable to play other things. It's not a situation of adaptation or whatnot. It's just genuinely that maybe they don't have motor skills for this class or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like a huge problem with this game is like...
And again, maybe they just don't want to play it. It's a game, it should be fun. If it's not fun, why bother?
Are you trying to?
You aren't asking, oh, make my gun, oh, make this, oh. Can I go back? Wow, this whole area on our right side is up. I'll get to the rescue.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cooch. I'm kind of getting a lot of feedback from like multiple different angles here, so I guess I walked off on a different tangent there.
What is that, a gal?
Yeah, I feel what you're saying, Chooch. You know, like, I understand that you mean that, like, Splatoon 1 had to get a lot of changes, too, to be a lot better, but, like, at the very least, in Splatoon 1, they, like, I didn't, like, aside from things that were just kind of, like, known to be very weak and just sort of advertised as very weak, i.e. ink brush and arrow spray, like, there was nothing that you really couldn't use in this game because there was just no sense of viability for it. You could, I do still believe that for a lot of things you could use pretty much anything, and there was some sort of practical purpose if you could identify it for that weapon. But
I also feel like there was never a point where people used one weapon 25% of the time, or you saw like the same weapon stacked 2 or 3 times on a team. Like that just didn't happen in Splatoon 1.
yeah.
The only 2 times that did happen was original 96 Gal Deco, before the wall nerfs, and that's actually about it.
Double wall, double
This
crack.
man never stopped playing 96, so.
Wow, they did.
Or people unironically using quantity
Yeah, like, there were definitely things you could run that were just, like, what do you call it? Like, disproportionately strong. Also, can my tablet, like, function? I was actually just starting to, like, draw on it. But, what do you call it? My thing wasn't that, what do you call it? Lost my train of thought because I'm just frustrated about this tablet. There are obviously things that are, like,
really
very
don't know.
strong, and, like, you get a lot of reward for using just like in the first game, but they still had reasonable counters, and they still had a lot of things that kind of made the game less homogenous. Like, yeah, like for just needed that first range nerf. I do think they did need it, but they did need that first range nerf for it to be a little bit more balanced in the first game. And I can see where like sentiments like that come from, where like the game definitely needed certain changes for it to be a lot more fair seeming. But like at the same time, there was never a point where it felt like you just could straight up not use stuff. At least like at the base level, you could use almost everything in the game. It's not like that.
Like, I mean, even like towards the end, like Squiffer became a thing in some circles, and
Splash and Bucket.
And, well, I mean, it's
both very
Splash
good
and
at that.
Bucket. Well, Japan were ahead of the meta on that one, and like even in the end, Japan won out in the end because Splash was just a better suction bomb kit. And like, fuck Berry. Berry was a piece of shit.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Fuck Berry. Like, people are still wrong about Berry being good. Berry was never good. Berry was shit. Oh yes, 180-point bomb rush. Good luck ever fucking getting it because it doesn't pain. It still doesn't pain.
Have bomb rush, you must have pain. That's the prolax.
But like, I mean, aside from Forge Pro, which just became fucking irrelevant because 220-point Zuka, and who would ever want that? But that wasn't so much a problem with the weapon being unable to be used. It was just terrible.
I'm not saying that I don't think that the game can ever improve, and I don't really know where I've ever said anything like that. It's less that I don't think that the game can improve. It's more that I feel like they've kind of undone all of the good that they did in balancing the first game and didn't learn anything from it. And then just
they
now,
literally
and now it just feels like they have a different goal where a lot of new weapons, or like not even new weapons, it's where a lot of weapons don't even have a place in the game anymore because they just they don't want the game.
I laugh.
Like for real though, even fucking like what point does Gucci fucking serve? It's a new weapon and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't. What does it do?
I can understand why they went that way.
It can charge for like 5
Like
seconds.
I don't think I've seen anyone ever say that.
You see him your gold arrow spray beast?
Oh, great.
Improvement over the first one. I'm really like hard pressed to even like recall when anyone ever said that. To be really honest with you, Tooch, I don't think anyone has ever said anything really like that.
I think, but it's understandable that they went that way because you did have games in Splatoon 1 where the team come with how the game just throws random weapons at each team. It's like you get unplayable games because the other team completely counters the other team. And I can see why they would make it in this game like everything is sort of balanced, so it's always feels like a real battle.
It's not
but
that
it also
everything is sort of
takes
balanced. It's that like the ones that
Oh
are
my
balanced
God.
are the only good ones. And if anything has like a specialty, it's just bad at that specialty now.
Yeah, like
Bad at all.
Oh no, it's poorly balanced. But
like all the long range weapons are bad at being long range weapons. Like, how do you fuck that up? Like, how do you have a long range weapon that can't pressure at long range? What's the point?
What do you mean? I don't even think I really hold Splatoon 2 at a higher standard so much as that I feel like they just didn't learn anything from the first game and are either they didn't learn or they're not applying what they did learn. Like I'm not here saying that like Splatoon 2 needs just like a complete overhaul and that the game, like the way it was presented wasn't good. It's just there are some very weirdly boring issues with it that I feel like they didn't consider very closely.
I feel like the problem is that it had overhauls and those overhauls kind of backfired on them.
Yeah, and it's like I don't know. It's like maybe you and I are just not looking at the same stuff. But where are you seeing it that people are just saying that it hadn't improved at all? Like I can't relate to that because I haven't seen it at all. But there are a lot of issues with it. But it improved, but it just didn't address a lot of things that I feel like could have been addressed better if they just like looked more to the patches and stuff that they made from Splatoon 1.
Wow, that was
Like I feel like in the effort of making it a sequel, I think they overhauled way too much to the point where they just didn't apply whatever they learned from the first game.
Like, why did Splash get the range nerf? Like the reversion. Why did SS3 get the range
all
reversion?
the basic things back that it gained from the later patches, like dually squelchers are just weird and like not just like worse version of the first dualies. I mean the dual squelcher. It's just like it's just like, so what is the truth? What is the truth?
Hi.
Hi, Tomato.
Hello.
Like sorry. I think I hear Sorrow talking, but I'm not sure if it's like Discord also.
Oh yeah, no, I was talking about dually. I was expecting them to have the same closer range, and their alternating fire would. The way the cones would work is that the bullets merge at max range.
Mm-hmm.
So you still get the alternating fire, and you technically get the accuracy of the dual, because that's what they're in rhythm at the same range. No, it just throws up in whatever direction.
Do you want me to just post that video again?
No! So disheartening!
Like, as I've said before, like, they could keep...
I like that weapon.
They could keep
I like it.
Julie Squelchers, you know, non-duct tape the way they are if A, they gave the split mode better painting so it's not complete trash, and B, give it fucking jet range in turret mode. It can't move! Give it the range!
It literally can't move.
It can't!
I would even just take faster bullets in.
That's honestly the
Or
one.
There's several ways they could buff dually mode.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that's honestly the one thing that happened with the dually squelchers that made me really like. I was surprised when I first saw it. Like, I was under the assumption that was a universal mechanic, but when I saw that it gave it to the dually squelcher, I'm like, oh, okay. So maybe it's just like some dualies will get this. I thought like it was a cool concept, but it's still kind of messed up for what the dually squelchers are.
Yeah,
No,
but
don't got a picture with Etika. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I just scrolled up the date chat.
they just increased dually fire rate by 1 frame, then it would kill as fast as it ends up at slightly more range, but it can't move, so I think it would be quite fair. But it still has the slow time to kill. So
Boy, somebody's doing the thing.
or they could keep it as it is but make it perfectly accurate, or they could buff its range. There's a few options, so I hope they fix it. There's still room. It's not like it's dead forever. The game's still early. What?
I don't know, Chief. Maybe I'm just not as receptive to that as you are. But it's like I've just been trying my best to hear other people out because like I realize that for a lot of us there is just a lot of stock put into this game to be like a little bit better. Well, not better. Well, yes, better, but not just. A little bit better than it wound up being at launch because we were like we really wanted to be able to come from the first game and sort of start fresh without obnoxious QR stuff at meta and whatnot. I mean, like in my case, I was especially hoping for just that not to be a thing anymore, so that I could feel more like I could play it. But it's just like my esteem for the game kind of.
Oh my god, this guy!
My esteem for the game hinged a lot on there being certain fixes so that I could actually function with my weapon, and then as it turns out, my weapon just ended up not being as like balanced as everything else. And now it's playable at like in like the basic definition, but it is not fun and it's not rewarding to play it anymore. To put it in more literal terms and like not try to be like, oh, it's just dead, it sucks. It's like, yeah, sure, it may not suck, it may not genuinely be dead, but it is not as rewarding to play as it was in the first game. And I don't even mean that it's not as easy. I would have been fine if it were not as easy, but it's not as rewarding is my thing. I have to put in 10 times more effort only to get practically nothing out of playing it, so why would I play it anymore?
To be fair, I think that's actually what people mean with their hyperbole of it's broken, it's busted, it's dead, but bad at articulating it. Why use this?
Or they're just joking about
I mean,
sincerely.
well, they're doing that as well, but I don't think that's actually the case.
Andy, I don't like the idea that you just put out right there because you can make anything unique, but if you're not gonna make it unique and good, it's not like it's pointless if it's just unique. That's a thing that a lot of game designers do in
at all levels of game design, where it's like they feel like something is too boring, so they just add something
Mechanics that don't
totally
explain
unique.
themselves.
But then it's like, why do that when the alternative was just to make it good in the first place?
Yeah, like they do that as like a substitute for balancing it.
Oh.
And again, I guess I really shouldn't talk. I really shouldn't even be here anymore.
Oh,
No,
You're fine.
don't do this.
Like,
though.
oh,
seriously.
I'm gonna pinch.
I enjoy hearing from you.
All of you want you to stare.
I'm hopping around with this thing a lot more than I should be. That's one thing, though. Oh, hi.
Damn, what is happening?
Hey, Sarah, get out of here with a weapon. Get out of here. Back off. Oh, here he
Oh
goes.
wow, that was a good double kill.
Well, I mean, shoot, it's to be really honest with you, like, it's not like the feelings that people have for the game are a lot unlike what people have had for the game in the past. Like, including like things like talking about how little Splash can function versus like Tentative just in the first game. Like nobody, I don't think anybody here is really like foreign to that sort of sentiment like at all. So I don't really know what about it is so different that it's just like a big problem in this game just because we're talking about it. Like we've all already put in a year plus worth of time to like trying to compromise with how the game was and just hoping for the sequel to be better. But like now that the sequel is here and we know now that it's not better, we will want to talk about it. I don't really see what the difference is there versus how we were feeling about it already from the first game. I don't think there's anything wrong with people being outwardly invested in it being better than it is.
Well, there's that, and the fact that they've actually said they're
Gonna
going
go
to
start again.
support the game, unlike where we were for a year where they weren't updating it because it was done, and they were moving on to this game. We all thought they were was
Straight
supposedly
through, my
going to
brother.
be
Fuck that shit.
where they were putting all their effort in, and now that it's kind of like, oh, well, I guess we were wrong, you know.
Yeah, like even I like
What night he posted?
even I have still been like struggling a lot with like
Stupid gap
the
thread
law that
title,
I
like just the title.
Guys, give
we
me a
can't all
second.
talk
I
at
want
the same time, please.
Guys, hold on. I want to hear what Charm is saying. Let her finish.
yeah, what do you call it? Like even I have been kind of like struggling with like my esteem with E-Leader, and so I've pretty much more or less dropped playing it for the sake of my own like health with the game because I still want to play it. I don't really have much of an alternative to play something else, but I know that if I keep playing E-Leader, I'm just going to feel like crap all the time whenever I turn the game on. So I've learned, or am trying to learn, like my exact antithesis for the most part, and it's like, it's fun, but I still wish if I could play E-Leader, but I feel like anytime I want to talk about E-Leader, everyone is always talking about how much, I don't know, just about the idea that it's somehow ruining the atmosphere or something to want to discuss it or something. And it's just tiring a little bit. I want to be able to talk about it at length and have a discussion because it helps make me feel better about how I feel about the weapon. But I don't know.
I'm
Just
with you, Charm.
yeah.
It's always annoying when people complain about the complaint. Because the complaints are coming from somewhere. People just
Yeah, and it's like I don't think either that it's like unfair of anyone to like not want to hear not want to hear negativity, but I would really appreciate if there were more
Outlets.
what do you call it? If it were more discerning how people would class things as complaints versus just honest discussion. And I feel like we don't really do a lot of that, and we should. Like we should be a little less liberal with saying, oh, it's just complaining. It's like, no, it's not just complaining. I want the game I spent 2.5 years of my life on to be good, or at least more fun for me to play. And I don't think it's unfair for me to just want that whenever you some time and effort into it.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, but
that's
sorry, kind of got
probably.
on.
No. I think that's how most, if not all of us here feel. More or less.
like I'm really willing to experiment, but I also want my weapon back because it's what I've already spent a lot of time learning, and I don't really want to just unlearn it for the sake of accepting that it's not good anymore.
Well, to be fair, tone is not the same as negativity, so that's already, not a very well articulated argument.
So
But then again,
See, because, like, that's exactly what I'm thinking over here. Like, I genuinely just like talking about this game, anything about this game. Even these discussions that are just like, what's going on with how they are or are not addressing things are super fascinating to me. But then, everything turns into a totally different dynamic once you insert, like, the idea that some people are just being overly negative, some people are just upset because their babies are gone, and it's like, that's not the intent at all. You just genuinely want to have a good discussion about these things.
yeah.
like, I don't think people here have been mentioning things without, actually having
Oh wow.
good points behind it. Like, why the fuck did they do this when they got so much right the first time? Like, or made strides to get it right the first time. You guys learn nothing after 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my biggest.
That's also a bit
I feel like
blindsided.
they regressed. And after 2 years of data, what they determined the game needed is not what I saw at all for a lot of things.
No, see, but I do disagree with that. Because it's not just a sequel, it's like, it's a new game, and if they want to take it in a slightly different direction, that can be fine too. No?
I love that I had to
Well, I mean,
But to take it in a different
If
direction
that's
and say,
what they-
don't worry, all the weapons are coming back, but they're all just garbage now, that's kind of fucked up.
yeah, like, I mean, if you can't really say that, like, just delete, if they want to do that, just delete half the weapons from the game then and be done with it. Be honest. Like,
Yeah, okay, but if their intention was to make things more compatible with each other and they did get the balance right, then it would have been a big problem as it is now.
well, yeah, but they haven't. So,
No, okay, no, but then to say, like, it had to be...
I don't, like, if I'm not interrupting, Shoots, like, I'm genuinely, like, curious here, like, and I'm not, like, I don't like to bring it up because it feels like it might be taken wrongly or as, like, me just calling you out relentlessly, but I'm just really trying to see where you're coming from more here. Like, what about it is a little, like, what about it is so much different than, like, how you were about Splash when it was, like, when you first unlocked it and you were, like, trying to get what they were going for with it and stuff. Like, it really sounds like a lot of the same sort of thing that, like, you were also, like, having issues with. And, like, I don't think anyone really here took it as, like, incessantly complaining or anything, or, like, overly negative. Like, we just knew that you had a lot of investment in it and you wanted it to be better. I didn't, like, when you were still in VC and stuff and talking about stuff, I didn't really think two ways about it, because it was just like, oh, that's what he wants to be better and he's trying to figure it out. You know, I don't, like, I can't really, like, see that and, like, see where you're coming from with this in some ways, because it just seems really similar to each other. Like, I know if,
He's
like,
probably think through it now, and now he's...
yeah, but I see it if, like, you were, like, just, like, kind of venting out loud and stuff, and then you kind of stopped and moved on, but I don't know, I don't know.
Wait a minute, I can see your guy's color shirt. What the heck? Is the next one worldwide? The next Splatfest?
I think they've all been.
no.
No, because
think-
the next one, I couldn't see your shirt. They were all grey because
Yeah,
you
they were region locked.
Yeah, this one aren't because I can see it. I think. Wait. Maybe I should check when I see Sarah.
How many shots?
I guess, Andy, I guess it can be kind of hard to see what's messed up with chargers if you don't play it. I don't know if you play charger at all or not, but like my main issue with it is in E-Leader's case, there's no range with which to like justify using it over Splatter Scope, and in Splatter Scope's case, it's still good, but it depends a lot more on your team like, covering all of the flanks, of which there are like like an average of 4 or 5 per map. There's too many flanks, too many blind spots, too many places in mid that are like blocked off, like where your vision is just blocked off because elevations and geometry. Like the little boxes on the stage of Starfish are like my least favorite to try to snipe through. Like holy crap. Because like I'll be leading a shot on somebody through those, and then I'll just hit the fucking speakers instead of them. It's just like, why does that even have a hitbox? Stop it. Just leave me. There's just too many things about the maps and like just what other mid-range weapons are able to get away with. It's just there's no real force that chargers have anymore. Like obviously, you know, power can do good stuff with it, but I'm just talking about your average charger. And I feel like power using charger is super situational. It is more like splatting.
But what do you call it? I can talk more about like splatter scopes in general. It feels like if you're not playing Firefin, you're not playing currently. Yeah, like the thing that I loved the most that really never got talked about enough when I played Splatter Scope in the old game is that there was such a great diversity between the 3 Splatter Scopes. All 3 of them like fulfilled a role and actually like had a place in what they were doing, right? Like none of them were overpowered, but all of them gave you such a different like approach to playing the same Splatter Scope. In this game, there's the vanilla Splatter Scope, which was actually the one I really wanted to like the most, but Stingray is super weird, and the bomb itself feels like out of place without like the bomb rush element. I mean, it doesn't need the bomb rush, but that was actually a cool thing that the original vanilla Splatter Scope had. This game is literally just trying to tell me right now, though, that Firefin is the only Splatter Scope, and it's fun, it's very, very strong, but it's like, nothing brings it back to Kelp days for me.
Yeah. Like, genuinely, I feel like E-Leader versus Splatter Scope and the way that Dynamo functions is like one big reason why I feel like they didn't balance the game very carefully, because it's like on a fundamental level those weapons can't function properly anymore. Like Dynamo is even worse, but I think E-Leader is too. But maybe I guess you have to have more of a discerning eye for E-Leader, but just because they are in the game doesn't mean it feels like they really belong, and I feel like that's what a lot of people should.
Man, you can leave this room.
Me? Yeah. I'm gonna scrub something and then I come back. I'm just scrubbing my split basically. Every time I get
We'll just play one match with Gaff and then okay, guys, see it work.
This isn't even a part of the conversation. Why does Merch tell me about the splat business?
Because he doesn't know.
Oh, wait.
You know. You gotta make sure you people know.
Why did you power move? I didn't realize that.
I mean, because, you know, if you haven't been playing since the first one, you wouldn't know about it, so he has to tell you. Kind of like Pokemon.
So wouldn't it be like that one when you talk to Sheldon? He doesn't tell you about it?
How did that person manage to kill the guy behind me after I directed them, though?
I think I'm okay with how they have it right now. You know, good
You're
old...
underestimating how forgetful people are, so...
Yeah.
Oh, those who were in the chat earlier. So, what if people have been any bias stuff with... You can waste your QR stuff that way.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
actually.
good. Pump track instead of green.
I'm just not leveling up any other gear that could be affected by the drinks and get QR chunks on everything else.
Yeah, don't do that.
God.
Especially play 2.
It's on the roll.
That's a suction bomb run.
No, that's still a waste.
Oh no!
Just use some gear that you don't use normally, that you can scrub as well. I mean, it's just a small increase, you know, so you can still get good counts, even if it's with the quick respawn bias. You should always be leveling up all your gear, honestly. Gonna play optimized anyway.
Wait, Chooch, what were people talking about now but not before? I think I'm a little lost.
Oh.
I think maybe it might have been in response to something somebody said out loud, but I missed it, or maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, it's
Wait,
just,
hold on. I see Chickens mentioned something for. Oh, sorry. Continue.
No, sorry. I'm kind of all over the place. I was just saying
You guys
that.
need to stop saying sorry. Oh,
Sorry, not sorry. Continue.
As long as tomatoes, sorry.
God damn it. I apologize for nothing.
I apologize for being. I don't know. I had a joke.
Out of my face.
And now I lost whatever I was trying to say, so I forget. Sorry, everyone.
Oh, I was just gonna bring up that, like, Chickens pigged me a bit back. I missed it earlier. Like, the Zoo's always like, so I heard you want to talk about how this weapon's bullet travel, and I'm like, wait, what's this in reference to?
No, just a joke about the discussion that go on.
Well, for what I was gonna say earlier, Cheech, when you were bringing it up, is that like I didn't really ever like regard you as being like overly salty or anything. I just thought that you were like very outwardly invested in stuff, and I never really had a problem with it.
Well, I mean, if you to call someone salty over,
Am I
Yeah.
still,
Huh? No, I mean he was saying that like he was saying something about like his salt precedes him, so I guess in a way it like undermines his opinions or anything of the game. But I just never really thought that for what it was worth. Yeah. But yeah, everyone is prone to getting salty, but that doesn't mean like we can just not look past that and just have a discussion. I can see like maybe the what do you call it, the self-consciousness from that might come in, but I don't know.
Oh, good. You know, I like having my one match of the day with Nick.
Like my core issue with some of the discussion has been stuff like, you know, E-Leader was like never good, it only relied on its kits and things like that. Nobody in Splat Chat really has been saying that. That's not where any of my issues with Splat Chat has been coming from.
Yeah, it's more like just the public discussion. Like, I'm honestly very upset with how a lot of people have been going on. Like, it seems like there's a lot of gotcha-ism going on, where it's like, oh, hey, you don't have this anymore, so haha, fuck you.
Yeah, pretty much.
But
It's still blow you up, and it was like.
yeah, but then it's like it completely disregards the fact that a lot of people actually really like that weapon, just genuinely became monsters with it.
Hey man, I already lost my knees.
Like there have been multiple times in the past where it's like, oh hey, E-Leader shouldn't have cracking, E-Leader shouldn't have burst bomb. Like, all of those discussions just kind of made it seem as though every single E-Leader player was just their kit and not the actual aim or motor skill that they had at that point. But then, nobody has ever, like, actively made amends to say maybe that's not how it is.
Yeah. Like, everyone wants to be able to say those sorts of things and then never own up to it when the discussion actually starts getting serious, and that bothers me. Like, whenever the discussion moves on down to, oh, well, I wish if my weapon, whatever it is, like, whatever non-charger weapon I'm using were better. You know, I wish this were this way, or that way.
I wish my 52 was better.
I wish my heavy was better.
Remember the things you were saying about E-Leader, though. Like, can I get a, oh, maybe I can actually see it from that perspective. But no, nobody ever says stuff like that.
Just like constant inkjets and auto bombs is awful.
Are there chargers in here?
I mean, I've never been a charger, but I can see the problem with E-Leader in this game. And I've always been a sniper hater. I can still see how it's a problem in the game, how that out. And how it's not fun for snipers.
Got a bunch of hits on a bunch of people back there, but no one died.
Yeah, same. Like, I would have been perfectly fine with if E-Leader came more or less exactly like it was in the first game, just with like more proportionate range and no burst bombs and no Kraken, that would be fine. The only reason I'm even kind of like I sure wish E-Leader had burst bombs is because there's no range to compensate for the fact that, you know, you're playing a slow ass charging weapon.
Yeah.
And you have to be in mid all the time to be able to get shots on people because you have no range. You can't perch anywhere because you have no fucking range. It's harder to see on the outside, but it's definitely more apparent to me.
Ah.
Why is this Russian in here though?
This weapon is so oppressive. Holy shit.
And then we're literally having a discussion again, same thing like that if that happens.
Bomb rush.
Oh,
And the wings.
I'm getting snipes in this game. Oh my god.
Just go away. Ah, this brush though.
Oh god, really?
Losing all of my encounters with them.
yeah, same chicken. That's a lot of how I'm feeling. Where it's like I know that they are doing a good job and everything, but in a lot of ways it seems like they cut corners where they shouldn't have.
Yes. Sarah.
And now
that
in these
trick shot I
ones,
did.
it might mean
I missed
the
it.
effort of them.
I'm fine, I'll take it.
Enough of that. You guys gotta go to work. Bye.
Oh, okay.
Tomato.
I hit the middle.
Oh, thanks, Neil.
No, I inked the mast in the middle and
Why
then
does this
you came in with
activate
ink armor.
Stingray in these situations? Like, no.
You came in with
Oh,
ink
you
armor.
need to go.
I climbed up the mast with a charge and then I jumped out
Come,
and hit you.
come on, okay. Power.
I can't. I'm in an ink chat. Sorry.
You can do some
Okay.
crazy shenanigans with the charge hold and that mast and just climb up the pole and then jump up with a charge and then shoot. Actually pretty good.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, chickens, but you're right.
I think, truth be
I don't
told,
know
I
why
would
I
like to
was
see
never
more
able to
is
hit that brush.
because
Yeah, that brush is.
and I feel like kind of hesitant even bringing it up, but it did kind of like suck seeing it happen. Like I would appreciate a lot less like going like to Twitter to say stuff and not like just coming forward and saying, hey, this bothers me a little bit. Can you like maybe reconsider how you're saying stuff? Because it's like seeing Nathan call like shenanigans in the VC bitching, even though I'm pretty sure like for the most part it was just passing discussion, but also having fun playing the game in turf like normal. This is a little bit hurtful, and I didn't appreciate it very much. Like I feel like we could all do to like be more honest with each other and just be more upfront with how we're feeling instead of like feeling like we have to subtweet each other.
On another note, I'm over here playing Blaster now, right? And it's making me super excited for when Grim Rage comes out. Like, I've been meaning to play more of this, it's just, he literally hate that if you throw an auto bomb, you're pretty much, like, off the field for 5 seconds while you get your ink back.
Yeah, I really wish if Blaster in particular came with Spot Bomb instead of Auto Bomb.
Sorry, I tried.
Like, heck.
I'm listening to you though, Sean, what's up?
Hmm?
No, I hear you, like, you were saying something. Started a thought, but then it kinda
Oh,
got drowned out.
oh no, I was just saying, I wish if the Blaster in particular came with Slap Bomb instead of Auto Bomb. Because the Blaster itself is like so nerfed in its ink efficiency, it's just like, you're just pretty much ineffective at using your sub.
The thing about the Blaster though, I'm actually super happy that they did in fact bring back the shot correction on Descent, but I do understand why a lot of people thought that that was like really, really silly a change, especially considering that they did that before they did anything to address things that really needed the help.
I feel like
It's because it was easier to fix. It was just a change of variable instead of reprogram how it works. Like I feel like it's kind of annoying how they said like, hey, in a month we're gonna have a balance change, and then they didn't actually put in effort. Like they just put their effort into new content instead of actually fixing the stuff.
Whoa! What the heck?
So like I'm just afraid like, are they gonna wait until like a year into the game and all the content done?
Hold on a
Go back
second,
and
I'm
say,
trying to hear Will.
let's fix rollers and chargers now. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be here in a year if they don't fix stuff.
Heck.
Oh, I'm getting the snipe. Yo, this is a good sniper.
Damn.
Yeah, the Dapples in this room are magic. I mean, Dapple has really high damage, but shit.
No, that was just a stage thing.
I should not be here. I got so many hit markers there.
My God.
I'm still right here.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fair too.
Can you get on tower? Or, oh, you got.
I got that guy.
Oh wow. Oh, okay.
That's an E-leader. Shit. Wait, what? Hey, can somebody in the stream chat fact check that shot for me, please? Yeah, because it really didn't look like they aimed at me. They looked like they were aiming at somebody to the left of me, but I don't know. Somehow that happened.
Alright, I'll be back with the different one.
I feel like the community at large kind of put a little bit more stock into the balance patch than we should have, which is why I was so skeptical that anything was going to be really meaningfully changed. Like, a month into the game, I don't think they're going to fundamentally change something. And I really wanted that to happen, but I couldn't expect it.
Oh, none of that.
You can't make a cohesive patch like that in a month anyway.
Yeah, I feel like as a consequence of releasing the game as it is, they have to like be less than their role about like big balance patches just because.
Because they have to constantly work on new content now, so they don't have time to go back and change the stuff that they got wrong the first time.
If they even consider it wrong.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That's the question.
Like the fact that they think the answer for like Carbon and Splat Roller is ink efficiency. Like, they could have given it a range increase. They could have made things faster. They just said ink efficiency. That's just weird. Like it wouldn't have taken a lot of effort to just give all the rollers the same buff that Dynamo got, and like it wouldn't have fixed everything. It would have been better than ink efficiency.
Yeah. I don't think anyone is really failing to give the dev team credit for the huge. I don't know, like, I feel like...
You outraged me!
Go ahead.
Fuck! Anything?
I don't know. I just feel like that's not really correct. Like, I feel like the dev team did some stuff right, but it's like, it's not really, like, downing that just to say that I wish if they had done things differently. Like, even if they say that they are considering different changes, it's like, it still begs the question why they balance things in a certain way to begin with. And it is worrying that they kind of like undid a lot of the good that came from the first game and all of the things that they learned from the first game.
On a totally unrelated note, I am actually excited for classes.
I'm excited for it to not be Mayo versus Ketchup. But what the first Splatfest is that, actually? Come on.
One guy is standing still the whole time. I don't know what the rest is doing.
Yeah, totally, exactly.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, Toad, my main thing is just the uncertainty
Damn,
of what
Goku
they're
giggle,
intending
stop it.
with the weapons.
You know,
like,
I think
they intend for these weapons to just be super weak so other things could thrive, or is it just a bunch of oversights? Like,
the thing is, like, chargers and rollers got a bunch of new, like, mechanics just built into them. And now no one's even using those weapons, so like all the time they spent on those mechanics is now just gone to waste because they didn't balance it quite right, or there were just some oversights in the way they were. I don't know. It's a shame that it happened.
yeah, because they were good ideas. They were genuinely good ideas, but they didn't. I guess.
And like, and like I think that's how you end up with stuff like YouTuber, because they actually thought like, hey, people are gonna actually want to use this charge limit.
Ow.
And then it just was not as strong as they anticipated it to be.
It's like,
Oh, by the way, I need to order that array after this match. Please remind me.
okay.
To be fair, all the gimmick weapons in this game are very, or all the specialized weapons are very gimmicky.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I was trying to...
It's like they gave new mechanics without like thinking about how it would function in context with the game, which is what I think their main issue is that they have trouble thinking of the game in context. Versus, I mean, like something like scooters and certain other weapons. It's like they didn't consider balancing it in the context of what the maps function and how other weapons function versus other weapons. It's like they didn't. It seems like they just gave new features without really like genuinely
Oh my god.
before releasing it.
I think they balanced it. They tried to balance it around the idea that if you're using a regular splatter shot or just their main weapon, regular, it always has to be fun for that weapon as well. So like sometimes like in Splatoon 1, it's like it's almost nearly unplayable against a certain weapon, and certain weapon shows up because it's like a direct counter to it, you know. And in this game, they try to make it always fun to the regular shooter weapon.
But they made it. They went too far in that like the regular shooter weapon is now better than like rollers at doing what rollers used to do, or like.
Yeah, okay, yeah, it's definitely.
Alright,
I
be right
feel
back. Gotta
maybe.
get food. I mean,
Go eat.
well, money ticket.
I wouldn't say the concept of it is necessarily.
Oh, what's up?
I'm just gonna run to the bathroom real fast.
Oh, okay.
Like, it isn't in my heart at all to like knock the development team and like completely knock the game, but it's just there are things that they need to address, and I don't know if they are going about it in the way that is like best for the life of the game. Because like when you have so many people sort of like not able to play things at a fundamental level, it's like you either have them like bully through it in the interest of playing the game that they love a lot, or they'll drop it for something else that is more rewarding for their time. So it is really worrying whether or not like people will just start dropping the game in the interest of like wanting to have fun. Because even if you say, oh, you know, the devs are working on it and you know it takes time and stuff, like if they're not conscious of what they're doing with the time that they do have, it can be damaging to the life of the game in the long run. And it can be really irreparable to be like, you know, to like, it can be really hard to repair the impression people have of the game because of like negligent balancing and stuff, which is a lot of the reason why I'm worried a little bit. Like,
Hello.
Hello?
No, that's my brother in the background. Continue, you guys.
Okay. No, I was done.
I think these changes are definitely catered to a more casual audience.
Mm-hmm.
Because it keeps it around a simple shooter class, you know?
Yeah.
So I think maybe this is actually a way to keep more players interested, because the bigger player base is actually a casual audience.
Yeah. Which is really silly because they're also concurrently trying to push the narrative of it being a competitive game. But there's like no way for using variety and like driving with competitive mindset. It's just use whatever is easy and wins games, which is not very good.
Yeah, but you gotta remember that competitive is also like a casual marketing trick these days.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's fair. Where's this art? I just passed by some art and I can't find it now. No. It was cute. Please tweet that.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Oh my god. Why? Why you had to sneak up on me like that?
I guess if the dev team had like a more clear goal, that would be nice. Like if they had like a more concrete goal with what they wanted the game to be. Like, do they want it to be for casuals, or do they want it to be for people who want to play it even at a like lower rung of competitive, like not even full on tournaments, just like for there to be enough of a competitive mindset for there to be variety.
Yeah. I mean, I think they have the goal, but the question is, are they gonna tell us ever?
Yeah.
Or is it the marketing spin they have to do around it? I don't know. I think nothing is gonna change in like at least like a half or to a year. But after that, when all the big marketing stuff is coming out, they might change it towards the more competitive scene.
Mm-hmm.
That's usually what happens with these games. It's like how Overwatch also catered to the casuals in the beginning.
Yeah.
And got more balance later on. It's all
I don't know,
about
I feel
damn
like I might
profit
have-
margins.
Sorry. I honestly feel like I might have preferred Splatoon 2 to come out like even as far as an entire year later, if it meant that it would be a little bit more balanced than it is.
Yeah, but it wouldn't.
I honestly feel like I would have been fine waiting more for it if I had known there would have been potential trade-offs, like just things not functioning properly on a large scale like this. Because the first game was hard and had a lot of issues, but at least it was playable for more than like literally five weapons that were all more or less similar anyway.
But games don't get balanced because they are longer in the making. They get balanced because it is in the people's hands and they complain about it.
Mm.
I don't think waiting another year would make this a better balanced game.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm just saying, like, if that's what it would take, then I would have been fine with waiting a little longer. Because like the game is fun and it offers some fun new things, i.e. Salmon Run, but it's like I want to play the game and enjoy it a little more than just Salmon Run. Like honestly, Salmon Run kind of carries my interest in this game lately. When it's not active, I hardly ever turn the Switch on.
That's fair. I also mostly play Salmon.
Yeah.
Cedric gone?
Not sure.
He's in the background.
Step downs. Be back in a minute.
Should actually like shower and go find something to eat. I like got a super late start to the day, so I'm only just now being like, oh, I'm hungry now after eating breakfast at like 12 o'clock. Kind of, ugh. I don't know how I feel about the newness level of this game, honestly. Like, there's a lot of new content, and there's a lot of like different mechanics that were added, and a couple new weapons that were added. But in a way, it doesn't feel wholly different from the first game. At least not in the way that like I feel like it would really separate it from it very much. I don't know. Like
It definitely feels like they set out to make a better Splatoon and not a new Splatoon.
Yeah, it feels less like the game is new and more that like wanted to improve on Splatoon 1 on a different console. Like they basically wanted 2-1 but on Switch. I personally can't. I can't quantify it as like being like very, very different.
Okay.
There's just
I got it.
for me to be able to say
Hi,
that,
Andrew.
honestly.
Alright.
Hi, stream. And I don't even mean that in like a negative way. I just it doesn't feel good to me.
The heck is this guy doing? Yeah, noob.
Wait, what's the current discussion point?
Whether or not Splatoon 2 feels new versus the first game.
Does
Hmm.
just like same core ideas going on, but there's enough going on that it does feel new. Just different, and in some cases, weird. But overall, it is a new experience.
I'm mixed on how I feel about it.
A new experience of this short-range slow meta.
Welcome, new galaxy.
Oh, that brush was good done.
Welcome to the slow meta.
There's Brian sitting around there.
The slow meta boys. Oh wow, that
Fuck, there's the last guy.
That happens, don't worry. Hi, Flatling. Oh no, I didn't get the direct, I'm dumb.
No.
No, not like this.
No, that's what happens. That's what happens when you do the bunny hopping, jumping, fairy nonsense with the blaster.
Yeah, it's like, I definitely know that that's a thing. I'm just trying to learn what's that appropriate, like, jumping arc to actually still have a semi-straight shot.
It's called you don't jump.
I mean, everybody says that, but
Jumping up for it.
I'm just gonna keep experimenting until I find something that works.
I mean, that's fine, but I'm telling you, there's a good solution. It's called not jumping.
Yes.
Can we at least get like the reticle on Stingray?
Yes.
Oh wow, that would actually help
And
it.
and it actually, I would.
See over there.
Time to scrub, baby.
Up to you.
Fuck off with these
Oh, yeah.
shitty chunks, man. Holy shit.
Aw yes, chunk
Wait.
meta.
Damn it! Left me in the room with them.
Where's the flatling?
He went around the ramp.
I already took off my flatline.
Got him.
You took off your split Steve. What's wrong with you, man?
I already forgot what I was there.
How did you miss it, Zua? You have an inkjet. It's the best
Holy shit.
in the game.
Every time I walk through this plaza, I see that stupid thing. Oh my god. Well, you know the picture. I think you put a picture in the chat as well. Wait, let me...
I have no pictures.
The meme picture.
Oh, the meme picture, right. Okay, yeah, I did.
Yeah, I got
You
it
guys
in
are in that range.
here. Let me put it
All
in the
this.
chat as well, again.
Oh, that was a
Have
nice
it right
one.
here. I keep seeing this every time I walk through the plaza.
This buckets.
So this is just gonna be a thing now where every time there's a new meme, people
Like,
race to
I'm
fucking
so
put
angry
it in
at this
Splatoon.
bucket.
Yep.
What was that, Will? You got a new
I'm just saying, like, every time there's a new meme, they're just gonna race to put it in Splatoon.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, was Splatoon 1 Miiverse any different?
I feel like there weren't as many computer-generated Miiverse posts in Splatoon 1.
Well, that,
That's definitely true though.
well, that's what happens when you make Miiverse export to Twitter instead of freaking Miiverse.
Oh god.
Wait, I just realized something. That splatter shot killed me from back there.
Part Miiverse is like regurgitated memes and like the odd
Refried
really
me.
offensive posts. So I'm just like, for the most part, I just have posts to stay off.
Bring back the SpongeBob memes.
Yeah, really.
I like the original stuff from
Where's
Anytime
the
they
king
start
of the hill
bringing-
of their squids now?
Like, bring back the SpongeBob memes, damn it!
By the way, can we talk really briefly about how much it sucks for the person who made that SpongeBob anime thing to like be shafted over it so much? Like, he got it stolen all over Twitter, it got removed from YouTube, and then somebody tried to make ad revenue off of it by re-uploading it.
Wait, what? What's this?
There was an animation that went around where somebody made like a Splatoon, a SpongeBob anime opening as like a joke. Like they animated themselves, and then it got reposted all over Twitter, like downloaded and reposted instead of just linking to the source. And then it got taken down because YouTube flagged it as potential spam because I guess they just couldn't determine that he was the source of it. And then it got re-uploaded by like 100 other people. It was just like, okay. Like, don't create anything and put it on YouTube, basically, is the takeaway.
Well, unfortunately, there's probably something in Google's shitty terms and conditions for YouTube that, yeah, something like they can do something like that and not care, probably. Sadly, I'm not saying it's fair or right, but it's probably why they don't give a shit, sadly. I mean, and they generally don't give a shit about many things unless it means they get money or lose money.
Yep.
Like,
it's just the growing trend of like monetization being worse and worse on YouTube and everything. So
yeah, I mean that's why there's Jim Sterling copyright conundrum cockblock thing, like being a thing.
I don't know who that is.
Oh.
Basically put 2 or 3 different IP properties get hit. And what happens is they end up fighting you and you can't. The other 2 fighting each other.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, so I mean Jim Sterling himself, who's like a game hard to describe what he is. Game soapbox
commentary.
Game soapbox commentator. There you go. That is kind of amusing and funny, and had a lawsuit against him for some dumb, strange reason that I won't go into. Watch the video. What was my point? Crap.
All of this was so good.
Yeah.
It was about the way that Jim found a way around.
Oh yeah. The only reason why he can do that is because he has a Patreon, so he gets money that way. So he doesn't care if he can't monetize his vids, because he already has a good revenue stream from Patreon. So that's why he can do that and not give a shit, and he lets the companies fight them out themselves. But most other people can't afford to do this because they do rely on the monetization of their content to make money and, pay bills and all that. So not everyone is quite so fortunate.
Yeah, and it takes a lot of your own time being donated just to be able to maybe build a following big enough to earn enough money for
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I don't think anyone has ever said that it is like the magical silver bullet to
I know.
copyright claim content ID nonsense on YouTube and stuff.
Random question.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yeah.
Property?
Yes.
Totally forgot about that.
What is a Shonen Jump property?
Shonen Jump is a Japanese serial manga that gets published monthly, weekly, I forget. Yeah. Basically, it's Japan, so you probably have never heard of it, but
I've heard of Shonen Jump, but no, you were saying something about a property of Shonen Jump. What are you talking about?
One Punch Man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I just remembered I was having this funny conversation on Twitter with Dr. Palutena the other day. Yesterday, what am I talking about? About, how I felt like Dragon Ball Fighters should have just been, Shonen Jump versus Shonen Jump. And then it just hit me today that One Punch Man is a property under that banner. They would have had a wild roster thinking about popular franchises.
They would not have been allowed to have One Punch Man in that game except for maybe, Evil Rule or something like that as, a secret unlock, because there is no way you can include One Punch Man and not make him fucking OP. You can't!
Oh, I was thinking One Punch Man characters. I wasn't thinking about One Punch Man himself.
Oh yeah, I was thinking One Punch Man himself, like Saitama himself, and I'm just like, there is no
All
way
of his special...
you can include him in a fighter and not make him OP. You can't. You just can't.
Would one even want that? Like, his depiction supposed to be...
Well, I mean, he might be funny for like some of his poses and dialogue and stuff, and his general meh attitude towards everything in life. Like, I sympathize with him so much because, like,
Oh dear.
he's even where I'm not at. Like, he is the best superhero to ever exist, and it depresses him greatly because he is the best. That nothing is a challenge to him anymore. It like life has lost all meaning to him. That he gets excited about fucking sales at a supermarket. Like that's all he can care about in life.
Like that King's like about you. Oh, a challenge.
Like,
So basically, what you're saying is,
Which is why. But you know what's funny about that? It's why he continues to do it, even though he personally.
Mario, did you not see that?
no. Sorry, what were you saying, Chum?
no, I was saying, so basically, One Punch Man is an e-leader.
Oh no.
Is it what?
An
You left me
e-leader
so.
main.
Oh, is it E-Leader main?
Bad joke.
Well, in some ways, like maybe like pre-patch E-Leader. Like he is a pre-patch E-Leader that can just wreck everything, but there's just no challenge or fun to him anymore. So he's kind of like new E-Leader. But like, yeah, if you want to try and get something out of your joke, like yeah.
Oh Jesus Christ.
He's like original E-Leader, but with the depression of new E-Leader.
I'm not.
I like the change thing.
What change? The lack of being able to do anything change.
Yeah. That's always been in my book.
No.
Like Crash Blaster.
Wait, did the geometry just eat that shot? Did you see that?
Again,
What?
the
What?
game is that weird, like,
It's like it just vanished.
yeah, shoot things and it won't cover turf and it won't damage anything. Like it gets eat like you flip it.
There are some weird things like that. Like I've seen people try to do speedruns in solo queue with curling bombs, and the curling bombs will magically hit nothing, and they'll bounce in the wrong direction, completely ruining the run. And I'm just like, but what did it hit? Like it didn't hit anything. It didn't bounce off anything. Like, why?
I think
You do realize that when Grim comes back, you're going to be a fucking monster and everyone is going to hate you.
Yeah, but everybody I actually had a brief period of time in Splatoon 1 where that was basically what happened when I picked up Grim, so
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm used to this. This is fine.
this is fine.
absolutely
Sets everything
fine.
on fire. This is fine.
Well, it's like, no, everyone else is on fire, but he has the one thing that's not on
Just
fire.
like,
And it's like, this is fine. It's like there's dynamo.
It's like everyone else is on fire, aiming weapons, and I'm just like...
There's dynamo and E-Leader and everything
Fire everywhere.
around you that's all on fire, and you have the one thing not on fire. And it's like, this is fine. You really will be the Grim Reaper.
I think I'm starting to understand the slushing machine firing.
The one thing that I do like about the sloshing machine change is that you can hold the well, not really hold, but you can like keep shooting whilst you run forward, and you actually paint a consistent thick line straight forward whilst you run forward. I think 90 is probably going to correct me on this and say you could probably have done that in the first game, but I swear you couldn't. But I thought
Holy crap!
I'm actually getting killed with this thing. think my problem was that I was actually playing it like a bucket, where I always kind of aim over instead of that.
What did I?
Yeah, that would probably help.
Yeah.
But it's kind of not a bucket and it's kind of not a blaster. But
Yeah, you do
kinda
want to
aim it-
direct people with it, yeah.
But you kind of aim it more like a blaster than you do
Ow.
a bucket.
Yeah, I guess that was my problem yesterday. Because I was going mad yesterday about this weapon. Why
I mean,
play
that-
this shitty weapon?
That could be half the rationale why they gave it the direct ping sound like a blaster. That like, hey, you should kind of play this like a blaster, maybe. Although, then again, like they have, like, can we have a really weird tangent discussion here for a second? Like, if they could give Clash Blaster rapid fire fucking direct pings, can they give Bamboo rapid pings, please? I want my crit sound.
Oh my god, that'd be super satisfying.
I want my crit sound on Bamboo. Like, if they could get the fucking Clash Blaster, like, stupidly, and you can get ping, 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 like, super fast, can you please give it to Bamboo? Please? That'd be nice.
Sarah, why did you pick the devil's
That's
weapon?
The devil's weapon? It's just a rapid!
No, that is the devil's weapon. Get out of
Right, so rapid is different.
Ow.
Anyway, I like rapid weapons. That's why I picked it.
here.
How
Damn
did
it.
that? Okay.
You're part of the problem. Actually, not really. I don't blame you. Rapid is good.
Wow.
To be honest, I might actually start using Rapid a bit more. I think it's fun.
I have no idea where I even was. I couldn't jump and I couldn't walk anywhere.
Ooh, looks like I'm our true soul. I can claim them both. Wait, what?
Oh my god.
I got lucky you missed your first shot.
I got the direct, and then the last shot missed. Like,
I don't think you got a direct.
oh, no, I got a direct.
Really? No.
Yeah.
It seemed like I took very little damage from it.
I always wondered, is kind of like effective damage? It felt like just how bad.
Oh, as far as the, the ink on the side of your screen, yeah, I think so.
What?
What's this? Wait,
You know what I just realized? I have stealth jump.
What? Azura.
Chase is fun boy.
What happened?
Wait, do you have ink mines?
Yeah, Rapid has some time.
Ow.
Interesting.
To be honest,
These clash.
it was one of the. It was pretty much the only original Ink Mine weapon where the sub is actually usefully synergistic with the weapon, and
Yeah.
it still kind of is. Well,
Definitely.
it still is, I should say. Not
Oh,
kind
what?
of, it still is. Yet very synergistic with the weapon.
Ah.
It's just
Get it on time.
not so much let me bait. I'll try and bait you to CQC, and then you'll just die from an explosion. Kind of synergistic and more. If you trip any of these mines and I direct you, you are dead.
You see, damn, don't touch the ink mine.
Got killed by my. No, Sarah.
I mean, if you have good aim in CQC, you can still get the direct after they trip the mine.
I mean, yeah, but don't trip my ink mine, you're making it easy for me.
I mean, yeah, basically.
You know what? I want to be on a team that has nothing but mines and somebody super jumping and just put 3 ink mines points.
3. Oh, you know, yeah, 3 ink mines will work. That'll be 105 damage.
Ah, I could have gotten all 4.
Wait, say that again, too?
Oh, I was about to say, hang on. I was miscalculating maths in my head. I was about to say, no, that should work because it's 35 damage times 3, which would be 105 damage total, so that should work. For some reason, I was thinking that it wouldn't total past 100, and I'm like, that won't work. But I'm stupid because 5s. But I mean, what other weapons right now? Other like there's Rapid and E-Leader that have mines. Is that it?
And Dynamo.
Okay, that is a problem.
Okay. Let me know when you're finished, by the way. Like,
I'll play till
I
rotation.
mean,
all right.
I guess you could run 2 rapids.
Where's Team?
Rapido.
But
He's
like,
around.
you could just run like.
Uh,
You could just do what Tomakin did and run 3 tri-sloshes and a rapid and win a tournament. Like, I have to admit that I was actually disgusted when I watched a lot of that earlier. There's just so many tri-sloshes.
Oh.
So many.
So has that changed anyone's opinion yet? At all?
Well, it's still not really that the bucket is broken. It's just that armor is so good.
Oh yeah, change their opinion on armor, not the bucket.
Oh, well, I don't know. I think Japan has just always felt that armor is good. Like, they've been making memes that this game is nothing but fucking inkjets and armor. Like, they know! They know!
I mean, let's be honest. Most people here, like, when I say here, I'm talking about here in Splatgap. I'm not talking about the West, because
Yeah.
the West is the West.
Yeah, the West is the West.
A lot of people.
Like, armor, the moment it was revealed, we were there like, this is going to be extremely broken. Like,
no, when it was revealed, we didn't know that it would have.
No, because
frames.
because the thing about it is, at the time, we're just there like, it's going to be really strong. I shouldn't say broken.
Yeah,
I should
it's
really
strong,
stop saying
strong,
broken.
strong.
It's like, it's going to be really strong. Especially because, like, the first thing I thought was, oh, it's global cast. Like, before anything else that anybody else touched on, the 2 things that stood out to me were, it's globally cast, and it's still something that gives you a little bit of oomph in, like, a firefight. I'm like, this is already silly sounding enough. But then we started playing and found out that it's a state change, it tanks, the way the netcode plays with it, it stacks with other specials, and it's like, yeah.
Guys.
Yeah, this is
Guys,
wild.
remember when we were all worried that charges might be weak because Ink Armor would block charger shots?
Oh boy. You remember when Inkjet was unquantifiably bad and we had weak specials?
Yeah, remember when we'd have no specials to be able to push out of base? Remember when Stingray was the worst oh wait, hang on.
Oh wait!
Remember when Stingray was bad? Oh, yeah, it still kind of is bad. Hang on. Remember when Tenta missiles were OP and then they weren't OP and then they're still kind of not OP? Yeah. Actually, no, hang on. No, hang on, I'm ruining this.
Basically, we called a lot of things. Some things we got right, some things we got wrong. Damn! Now it's time to fix these things!
It's like the thing. It's like the thing I remember the most saying about like things before the game was established was, oh, you know what? I think Inkjet is going to be good. It's different. It's just not. It's like I don't think I was ever one of the people who just immediately came to the conclusion that it was bad.
Yeah, Touchfire
Touchfire Inkjet was also actually genuinely worse because you could die off stage with it and aiming was just overall off during the test fires.
I think the main thing that made people think that Inkjet was bad was because Inkjet was always seen as kind of like the new Zuka, and it wasn't as it functioned nothing like a Zuka. Like you couldn't just panic pop it out and fucking destroy people with a super fast tornado. It's like, oh, this glob is slow. You can miss. You don't have any mobility in the air, which also makes you slow. Like, yeah, ew. But now it's just like, what, you can't run away from this thing. It's oppressive. You want to run away, but you can't. And if you challenge it, you die. The slow bullet doesn't actually matter. But
Jetpack itself kills.
actually, it has a lot of vert Z-axis mobility that makes it really fucking hard to hit. It stacks with ink armor, which makes all the other problems worse. Like
Again, the backpack is a better stingray.
The jetpack is a better stingray.
But I get killed on. This is actually Ink Armor the match right here. Like, I'm thinking about why we haven't been able to push or just clear them, and it's like Ink Armor and Sprinkler.
I mean, they have a sprinkler, 2 chickens.
Please leave me.
They have a sprinkler, 2 chickens, and armor.
Yeah.
Like I'm just dying. Like I'm just dying to the rain and the auto bomb, like splash damage.
But it's not they have 1, they have 2 chickens. Which means they can have 4 chickens! And also, the umbrella is actually doing smart umbrella things around the tower.
Good lord.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate auto bomb. No, we can't say just use a rapid because actually no, we kind of can. I mean, if anything, the more apt.
What even?
The more
Why not
apt
use
thing
it
to say. The more apt thing to say would be why not use Tri-Slosher.
Wow!
I don't want to go as far as saying that. Also, Chooch seems to have disappeared again.
God damn it.
I really appreciate.
Like I'm just getting chip.
Stingray
I'm just
user.
getting chip damage to death over and over again.
That's basically what's going on in this match because you've got like 2 or 3
Stingrays
stingrays going on. Then there's the NZAP that'll just casually run through all of this, and then you've got the Umbrella player just putting down all of the ink for everybody. Ah, shoot.
Should have invested in defense up.
And stuff, that doesn't exist. And stuff, that part.
To be fair though, I don't think
I don't really want to be there.
there's been a lot of situations in this game where I felt like defense up would have actually, you know, saved my life against a lot of things.
It's just that I really need for the 2 buckets actually not be up. Like, everything else is manageable once we get those down. Fine, we got 1. And it's actually the most troublesome one.
Fuck, the other one got me.
It's because he deployed.
Like-
It's because he deployed Stingray because he was silly. Because haha, Stingray. Stingray.
Look at all of this chip damage, though. That's basically all that's happening here. Ah, the Drizzler, of course. Drizzler, I see.
Yeah, we know what you mean. Because I mean, how many times have we died to that?
And then here comes the Ink Armor. So now they're just partying, is that what that is?
I think they've given up.
Oh, God damn it! I was so close to climbing onto the tower.
Well,
Rest in peace. You're a good school.
I feel like a few times I was trying to lead people in, but that other bucket just always knew what was
There was
up.
just always splash damage everywhere.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah,
I mean,
Numbers are
because
real?
they all got assists from everything because they all did chip damage to us over and over again.
Rapid is actually not the only blaster that's being played. There are 2 blasters that are being played. Rapid is one because it's extremely oppressive against the short range, with its range and splash damage, and it has bomb rush, which lets it steal territory really quickly and very nicely. So it's good for things like splat zones or making a push, or stopping a push. The other blaster that is being used is Custom Blaster. And that is probably primarily due to the kit, which off the top of my head is Auto Bomb Inkjet. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So chickens, or what we call auto bombs, like chickens are stupid, like hilariously stupid. Not like OP stupid, but just dumb, stupid. Like
Funny as hell, and I love them so much. Like
they are surprisingly effective at what they do, despite the fact that they are slow little walking chickens that take forever to go anywhere and do anything, but manage to trip everyone up because they sit there walking into a wall for fucking ever whilst you're standing on a box, and then when you drop down, it's like, hi, I'm here for you, and then you die.
The thing about Autobomb in particular, and why I love it so much with how it behaves right now, it's like there was a certain point in time where I genuinely felt like sharking, like the actual act of just hiding around in ink, was way too strong. Autobomb is just here, and it's literally like, no matter what, I will definitely tell you what's up. Like, they have the absolute worst. Like,
I was stuck.
And the funny part is, too, I remember being initially very down on them. I assumed that they were going to be this game's seeker in the sense, like, how, oh, they're the cute sub that'll get a lot of fan art, but they're not going to actually have practical applications. And then it's like, these things pressure better than some human players. Like, what?
Yeah, there's... I mean, we've discussed about this, right, a lot, a bit. With regards to auto bombs and things like detection range and maybe cold-blooded should help mitigate their chase time and things like that. But I think auto bombs, for the most part, you know, aside from those few quirks, are in a more or less a good spot as a sub. The other reason why Custom Blaster is being used, just to finish my original point, is because it has fucking inkjet! Like,
yeah, it's like when it's tired of being a slow and short-range blaster, it becomes a faster and bigger one that can fly.
Longer-range blaster, like, what could go wrong? Like, and inkjet is just this game's absolute gargantuan oppressor. The meta, like, it's disgustingly strong. Also, just for this note, there may not have been a lot of custom blasters in Inkstorm. Custom Blaster is getting a lot of use in League, where the top 10 teams in League for the last few weeks have had custom blaster representation, usually around top weapon position 4, you know, more or less, 3 or 4. So it's being used primarily by Japanese League teams to do well. And if it's good enough to get to the top 10 League, then there must be something really good about it. And that's the kit. And I mean, it's the kit. I mean, it's still a blaster, which is still useful, you know, being a blaster and all, but the kit is just, with that, is just very strong, and it's not surprising to see it being a top 4 weapon in League right now. I do think the West is a bit behind on using the custom blaster. If only because perhaps that there are just better inkjet choices that people have gravitated towards, like N-Aries or T-Tech. Like, Luna is being slept on because baller. Like, I mean, I was watching the SS Open earlier, so naturally I was watching a few games where Cross was playing, you know, the Cross, the infamous Luna Cross from Amahide days. He was putting in some serious fucking work with that baller, let me tell you. Like, he's figured that thing out. Like,
honestly, I really want to see, like, how Baller is used, because that's the thing that was keeping me from really appreciating the Luna kit. Like, I think it's super strong because it's literally just Neo Luna without the bomb rush. So, like, that was always going to be good.
But, I mean,
watching
some of the things that Cross was doing, like, Cross was still doing the Luna thing, like, just being a general pain in the ass and getting right up in front of people when they least expect it and just shoot them in the face 2 times. And they die. Or he gets the crit, like, where people are running across grates and he goes, hi there, dead. Like, Cross is still doing the Luna thing, but he has... It's hard for me to articulate what the baller thing is, but he has figured out how to use the ball and to use it well. But I feel a lot of the way he uses it is almost sort of like a safe flank maneuver. Like he's able to exert pressure where he needs to, but then when he wants to get somewhere else, you know, to try and go for the flank that may involve having to go through enemy territory, he pulls out the baller and uses the baller to traverse the flank. And then, obviously, you know, pops up where people least expect it and blows up. Like, but I feel that's where a lot of his play with the baller came from. Like, he knows when to do that maneuver to get right behind people when they don't expect it and then just blow up.
Sarah.
Oh.
Fuck off.
And I mean, there are some maps where it's better than others. Like main stage, baller is quite strong because you can do the flank over the grates or things like that. And if you can detonate on like the court before the main stage, like you can deny a lot of area with that ball just by virtue of the map design. And I think Manta Maria as well has a lot of that as well, where there's a lot of like walls and different geometry to climb and stuff like that, which actually doesn't give you a lot.
Really quickly.
It doesn't give you a lot of actual traversable mobility that could let you easily escape something that has a massive explosion. So, and because of all the walls and stuff, like it's really hard to actually see the baller because it's just going everywhere, whichever, whatever. Like it don't care, and I think it's just really easy for the baller to actually get around and do the baller thing on that map. Yeah, so
Wait, so the weapon has ink mines and it
bomb-
has a bomb rush?
Splat bomb rush.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Do
I
you
can't
see?
decide to that. What?
Do you see what now? Why people are using it?
Oh my god, and the weapon alone is already so annoying.
That was one of the first things I picked up on and talked about, but everybody, I guess, kind of got lost in other things. I felt like Rapid Blaster was always going to be super good in this game because of the fact that they gave it away to do its damage up thing way more consistently. Everything else can't really contest its reach, and then they went and did the thing that I thought they wouldn't do given Splatoon 1, and they gave it a bomb rush. Like, blasters with bomb rush is probably the silliest thing that they ever did in Splatoon. Ready for the Nia? I'm not!
Oh my god.
Does that have chicken bomb rush?
No, it has suction.
Oh, for God's sake! What? Why? Why did they do that? No, really, why?
I just don't know. Like, they decided to upgrade its bomb rush, so now it's even wilder.
And wait, the Rapid Deco has suction bomb. Oh, for fuck's sake! It has suction bomb.
Oh yeah, Rapid Deco has suction.
Yeah.
Oh
What's this person throwing things at me, though?
Talk about not fun times.
Oh my god! I guess I should become a Rapid vein. Tingly's not gonna be happy. Oh shit!
The amount of spacing that suction bomb gives you, and then you add it to the Rapid Blaster, and then you give it jet so I can safely activate jet at any.
Ultimate space game. Ultimate space game.
I'm so dumb.
Pretty crazy.
I don't know why I don't use the Rapid, because I think I'm a tryhard and I use fucking jet and fake gigs. I don't know.
Rapid is so much fun.
It's probably the only actual like meta weapon that I enjoy using, to be quite honest. So maybe I will actually use it a bit more. But like I don't know because I'm a fucking scrub. I don't know. Also, don't do the thing with the. Okay, whatever.
What? There's the ink armor. I don't want to move from here because this rapid will
Right.
keep me alive.
Pro Deco gets curling on an ink armor. Well, why are all
Everybody's
kind
jumping
of
back.
like strong meta-ish weapons getting like a variant that have really good kits on top of their all current variant which already have?
Oh my god.
There is a lot of ink armor saving going on here.
Welcome to the meta.
And now they're up on the second level, which is always hell.
Although to be fair, they only have one ink user, so I mean it's not Tomokin, you could be facing 3 buckets.
Hitboxes? Oh,
Get off of that.
Like, I mean, I'm not saying this to say that Tomokin are bad or anything. Like, Tomokin are really, really good players that know exactly what to do and how to abuse things to their maximum potential. But I mean, really, like, this is how like some of the best just absolutely flatten players by using buckets. Like, nah, man. You don't need, we've gone too far.
oh.
Wow!
Yes, Tomokin are the Platinum Cup people that won. Yes, they are the same people.
Fuck. God.
Sorry about that.
I mean, there was like 4 people there. I don't know why I can't get credit.
Can't wait for rapping.
I had to fight Tomokin first thing in that tournament. So I had a very good, a very speedy 10-minute tournament. Where I was eliminated by Tomokin the very first set.
Wait,
and,
what? Wait, what blew me up?
And it was single elimination.
That sounds like a good
No,
recipe.
that was the curling bomb. No, I saw that there. That was definitely curling bomb. You completely forgot about it.
Oh my god. This guy needs to stop. Yeah, see, this is the thing right here, like, Luna's strong, but I don't know where to apply its strength currently.
I don't.
There's just screw this particular Tri-Slosher.
To be fair, I don't think this is a particularly good map for Luna. Like, your best ways to try and exploit the Luna are to play around the boxes in the mid, which kind of means you need to be traversing the sides a bit more.
Why is this person always on my ass, though?
And playing around that, but... Oh, that was a nice direct.
I have just been trying to get direct the entire match.
Oh, sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like... Everybody's
Oh no!
Oh, boy.
Oh no! Why the fuck do people do that with... Oh, whatever. We actually know why everyone does that with the jet. Yeah. I don't think this is one of the better maps for Luna, although you could make it work by playing around the sides and the boxes rather than going straight through mid. It's kind of shitty because you kind of have to go where you don't want to go, but...
Also, guys,
Plus, I recognize that I'm not really playing the best right now. I haven't so far.
I have a question. There are a lot of, like...
Oh, I need to order that
it
Christmas
is?
hat. Be right back.
Oh,
I keep...
well, we're not gonna make rotation then, so G games.
Oh, okay then. Good games, Will.
I was about to...
Summer weather is so great!
People keep dying at deaths, and I